Getting some feedback right there. Hold on, I'm not sure what's causing it. All right, all right. So we're currently live, and I'm just waiting for the call. I'm waiting for Jesse and David to call in, and once they call in, we'll be live. All right, and there it is. Okay.
This call is now being recorded. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado en de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga gracias por utilizar Global Tel Link.
Hello, hello.
Hey, what's up, James?
Hey, what's up, David? How's it going? Where's Jesse at?
Hey, Jesse's right here to spend some. There was a little bit of owl right now.
Wow.
Jesse's right here. My ace deuce. Yeah, my ace deuce is right here. Jesse's asking about you.
Yep. What's going on,
Hey,
man?
Moscato's checking up on you.
Yep. I had to use the restroom real quick. Had to take a leak before we got the rocking and rolling. My bad. Why?
Nah,
We do
wow.
run our stream in the restroom.
Yeah, we are living and camping out in the restroom. Anybody want to know what prison's like? Drag your mattress into the restroom and lock the door, and 23 years later, get at me.
Yep.
And you got an idea of what I've been doing for the last 23 years.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Hey, so
You want fire already?
No, I don't know.
Go ahead.
so today,
There's the alarm.
for those of you that are not aware, I'm actually on vacation right now, but I'm dedicated to the Sunday stream. So whenever we can make them happen, we go ahead and do that, and hopefully you guys, everybody could hear us. Hopefully both of the audios are coming through. So it's me on the mic, and then we also got Jesse and David.
Yeah, that's us, man. Let me shut
That's
this.
it. We're here for the Sunday night slow jam.
That's what it is. Yep. Sunday night slow jam in prison used to be Art LeBeau's. That was the staple of prison life.
Yep, and R-Dub for the Sunday night slow jam.
Yep. I used to sit there wishing that my girl would call in. Hey, I want
Okay.
to send a shout out to my vato.
Hold on.
Vato D. What's up?
Give me a moment. They just sent me a message that they can't hear you guys. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plug it in. I gotta grab another connection, and just give me a moment if you guys want to go ahead and just talk, and then let me grab the connection. I'll plug everything back in so everybody could hear you.
Yeah.
Well,
All right.
Jesse, I guess it's just you and me.
Yeah, it's you and me out here in no man's land, all by ourselves. What are we gonna do without James?
I want to know what we're going to do without the listeners, the viewers.
Yeah, they can't hear us. Essentially, we're here like Bert and Ernie from Sesame Street.
I'm basically stuck in this cage with you. So I couldn't get away from you right now if I wanted to.
Wow. That's it. Hey, Bert.
Hey, yeah. Hey, ever since I gave you that damn tattoo removal haircut, huh?
Got me on the old Bert and Ernie
Turned into
haircut.
Bert, yeah.
Yeah, sure. Well, hopefully James can get this fixed, because I know we had this technical difficulty on the previous airing with
Yeah.
Jeremiah. So hopefully, James is a tech guy. I got faith in his tech abilities.
I did,
but it's not looking good right now.
Yeah, that's the thing of the past. My faith in James' technical abilities.
You know what it is? It's ever since he got that comb for his rocha. Did you see his? Oh, you didn't see. He got a nice little fancy.
I seen it, and I'm not down with that. I told him, look, man, I have a beat up palm comb right here that I think I should put in the mail.
Oh, okay. That way it's authentic.
It's got to be authentic, man. If he's gonna be brushing a whip like that, he can't have it.
You definitely got to hit it with the palm comb.
He can't have a brocha comb that says Maybelline on the side of it.
Hey, so
Yeah, he got.
What's
hey,
up?
so they can hear you now. You know what? It's because sometimes I have that Bluetooth connection, and the Bluetooth connection for whatever reason it doesn't cross over. So I just went and plugged you guys in, directly. So thank you guys for being patient with me, and also for the audience, for hanging in there and waiting it out while I got this situated over here, this technical difficulties, if you will.
Patience. We spent the last 20 minutes just destroying your name. There was nothing patient. There was nothing patient about it. You didn't have to send a disclaimer out.
Hey, we went off. Hey, yeah, we apologize to all the TikTokers out there. We had no intention of just outwardly, overtly, just destroying James's throat shot and his palm comb.
Yeah. We thought we were not being heard. You know what I mean? We thought we were in the safety of the confines of our own home.
Yeah, Jesse's been talking like Bert and Ernie, like Bert specifically, because he got this big old tattoo on the back of his head that they're doing tattoo removal here. So they're trying to help people out for gang tattoos. Guys who are in recovery and they're gonna go home are gonna have a hard time getting jobs with tattoos on their faces, hands, and heads and stuff. So
just ducking the stigma of having tattoos on your head.
Yeah, absolutely. So he has a giant freeway sign on the back of his head, and so that it looks cool. It's got some cool little like gang lettering and all that stuff. Like when he was doing his thing in the past, like that would have been like a nice eye buster for the yard. But that's the old Jesse.
My sister said, "What'd you get that for? In case you get lost, they can drop you off at the Lost and Found."
Hey, it's true though. It's true. So the thing is with this tattoo, right? Unfortunately, it goes up pretty high on the back of his head. And I'm a barber, but I'm not a miracle worker.
I'm not a magician.
So I have to bring that fade high, man, like super high, like that.
Let's just say I'm ready to serve my country.
It's higher than that. It's like that thing. Basically, I just held his hair up and just shaved as high up as I could go to expose the tattoo.
That's why I've been wearing it. I've even been sleeping and showering with the hat for the last week.
Have you ever seen, James? Have you seen Fantastic Beasts with the Johnny Depp's haircut? That's
No.
the haircut I give to Jesse.
I don't know what that is, but I'm going to assume it's offensive. Thanks a lot.
Hey, no, Johnny Depp had this. He has like a really high haircut in Fantastic Beasts. I think he's the bad guy. He's the villain or something in that movie, and he's got a really high. It's just like some slick back hair, and there's not much else. Well, that's what Jesse's been walking around the yard looking like for the past 2 weeks. But yeah. So anyway, I'm glad you guys are here. I'm glad you guys can hear us. I'm glad James is nice enough to bring us to you guys and to continue our weekly special.
Yep, it's awesome to be able to just know that we're there in spirit with James, on his vacation in New York. Like we mentioned in the video visit that we did. Was it yesterday?
Yeah, it was yesterday.
Damn, was it?
Yeah.
Yesterday. That it's opportunities like this that I think they had in mind when they implemented the tablet program and the video visits. It was all about restoring, connections with family and building relationships and connections with friends and family and pro-social individuals. And so having this opportunity to be able to be with our friend when he's all the way across the country, a lot of us in here never left the neighborhoods that we grew up in. You know what I mean? Like we couldn't see past our nose most of the time. So it was just it's just been an honor and a privilege for James to be able to take us places and have other people, take us to different places around the world. Just gives us motivation and hope that one day we'll be able to actually see those places in person. It gives us something to aspire for. So yeah, I just want.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
For taking the time out of his day to dedicate these calls to us and those video calls to us. I definitely want to thank his wife, because I know if I was his old lady, I'd probably be making a poncho. I don't want them motherfuckers calling us when we're on vacation.
There you go, poncho, huh? Yeah.
Hey.
So she's a better woman than I would be.
Yeah, I think Jessie would be a terrible woman, honestly.
I'm a terrible man, so I'd definitely be a horrible woman.
Hey, my lady was like, she came to drop me out. She's like, I'm gonna go drop you off to the room. I'm gonna go have dinner to some place you probably like. And I'm like, wait, hold up.
Hold on.
Yeah.
That's hitting below the belt. That's hitting below the belt. You don't hit a man where his stomach's at.
Yep, that was rough right there. I felt like there might have been a line that was almost crossed right there. Yeah. Honestly, I think highly of that woman. Honestly,
yeah. I've had her back the whole time, but the second you start playing with a man's food, that's like borderline disrespectful.
Yeah. Sure.
And if she's listening, she does bring me some back. I gotta inspect it before I eat it, because it might not come back right.
Right, there's going to be a little sergeant glass, and there's going to be Ajax sprinkles.
Yep. Hey,
there's going to be laxatives in there.
Oh, that'll be all bad.
Journey, right? Now, so I know that I've seen some videos, James, where you have your CDCR jacket, and there's been some mixed reviews, we'll say, about that jacket, about your their intentions and maybe the message that you're sending to people. And this is the thing. So we feel connected to you through your journey also with us. Like you're a part of this journey with us. We cross paths through one of your homeboys that you grew up with, that happened to know Jesse, and that's how the rest is history. So we were able to cross paths, but you take us out of this place. You take us to all these far off places that we wouldn't see. We see these things. Yeah, we could have got on we could have got on the internet when we got out, or we could watch TV and stuff like that, and we could see these places. But you take us there in real time. You walk us around, and we could guide you. We could say, hey, go. I mean, I couldn't get you to go into the jungle. I really wanted you to do that, but I could. Yeah, there's a couple of dark alleys. I wanted you to take a right turn down.
In Amsterdam.
Yeah, in Amsterdam. Where you may or may not have almost got trafficked. But
yeah, like, hey, James, put those fish stockings on and fishnet stockings.
Walk us down the street. See what happens. Let's keep this authentic.
Yeah. You're not down for the podcast. So those motherfuckers out. Hit the grave.
Yeah, let me roll it up.
I may not have saw your I may or may not have saw your ankleless socks.
Yeah. When you were a kid, and fools would be like, if you're down for the barrio, you'll do this. Mm-hmm. We're hitting James. If you're down for collect call, you'll throw the fishnets on. You'll hit that street.
Yeah. Yeah, I just saw a camera laying down sideways on the red light district street. It's like, I don't know. James is gone. I'm pretty sure he's not coming back.
Yeah, I think the Yugoslavians got him.
The Slavs, yeah.
Yeah, the Slavs got him, and they got him.
Yeah, and we're not saying the bad. We're not saying the good Slavs. Not all Slavs are bad.
Yeah,
there are some. I'm sure there's some great people out there.
Yeah, I think you got to be careful too talking about that, because I'm afraid to get banned.
Yeah, and Felipe is a wonderful person. Wink, wink.
We love you, Felipe.
Wink, wink, wink.
Wink.
Hey, I do love that fool though. Felipe, that's my boy right there. We talk a lot of smack. People probably hear that, but he talks a lot of. He gives it just like he gets it. And I'm gonna tell you right now, like, that is our boy right there. A lot of us never really had healthy relationships. So I guess talking shit to each other, like,
is our way of showing affection
in the worst way. Yeah, and I think about it like, man, I think about some of the stuff, I ran the film in my head, and I think about some of the things that we've said to each other in the past, and, I think like, damn, that was definitely below the belt. And I think we owe him an apology, Jesse.
Well, how about I give him
You can't. All right. You cannot.
Hey, we just got back.
We
just got back from that. We just got back from the band yesterday. That's why we haven't been on. If anybody was on that stream on Wednesday when Felipe when Felipe jumped on the phone and we had that release from Centinela State Prison, it wasn't that I ended the stream. It's just we got the boot. They booted us. So that's kind of what what they're touching on base touching on base right now.
And it's understandable, because out there today that social media is used for crazy things, for weird bully tactics, to mess with kids, mess with not just kids but adults and everybody.
They do, yeah, everybody's so
everybody's so socially conscious about this and that and the other thing that it's a shame that they have to work so vigorously to protect people, because there's people out there just being assholes.
Yeah,
being mean. So it's understandable. That's how we have a different kind of sense of humor in here, and I think that's also something that we're gonna have to. I know I'm gonna have to work on getting out to society soon. I know David has a better filter than I do, but I know
I'm the good.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Half the time we've been kicked off, this has been my fault, and I'm the good one.
Yeah, exactly.
Imagine the vile things that this man is capable of next to me.
Yeah, so it's gonna be some adjustment getting out to the society and understanding like what is socially acceptable and what isn't. How to be a little more sensitive, because in here there really is no lines. You know what I mean? Like, everything's open season in here, and like I said, it's a very masculine place. So like that's how people show endearment in here. Is like roasting and clowning and talking shit. Like that's that's the way of saying this is my boy. Like, you don't play with people who you're not cool with. Like you do dudes that are comfortable with. Like, that's how you show friendship. And it's weird. Like even hearing myself say it now, it's weird to think about it. That men get around each other and they can't they can't show affection or be comfortable with each other unless they're talking shit, and it's just a trip, so I know those are things that I'm going to...
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
Because I play so much and I talk so much shit that, like, what about when I get around other people who may not understand my sense of humor or my, but like I said, I'm not dumb, and I know how to adapt. I mean, it's just something I'll have to see a little more when I get out there. I'm for sure not going to turn around and put a muzzle on everything because, they have rights, well, so do I. Everybody else has a right not to be offended. Well, I have a right to offend.
I don't think you do anymore. I think they've taken your right to offend, Jess. I think it's gone.
Well,
I think it is gone.
Well, then let's see what the First Amendment is about.
I
think we got to call back.
You have been censored. I'm watching the clock. I did not hear the rooster crow 3 times. Hey, but I will call back right now, James, just so we can get a fresh one, all right?
All right, cool. We'll be waiting. Gracias.
Yep.
All right, hey Starlight, I'm glad you finally got that taffy, and I'm actually gonna make an announcement. Probably when I get back home. The fellas actually sent me like I think 4 or 5 tubs of that taffy. It's fresh. I know the one I sent your way. I'm pretty sure it was a little bit on the hard side. My apologies for that. With it, coming back to me in the mail, it definitely slowed it up, and I felt it when I got it that it was a little bit on the harder side, but yeah. So they sent me some more taffy. Oh, hold up, they are calling back.
This call is now being recorded. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5.
Versions of ourselves, and
despite what Felipe does to us.
Yep, and that's what it is. But he's a great guy, and his heart, he's all heart. Speaking of our boy, his girl Des came out of her second surgery. Yep. She was battling cancer. She came out of her second surgery successful.
And the surgery was unrelated to the cancer, but it was anybody that knows that have struggled with that demon. It's cancer takes effect and it affects you in all kinds of other ways. So she was able to get her gallbladder fixed up and get some other touch-ups, and that's awesome. So hopefully it's able to put her back in a stabler place where she can continue to fight the fight that she needs to fight against the cancer, because it's hard enough to be dealing with one thing and then to have other ailments on the side. Yeah. It makes things worse. So she's always in our prayers. She's a trooper, definitely a trooper. Wonderful woman, and she's definitely a blessing to the boy. So we're just happy to know that she's back out, and she's
definitely the better half of those two.
Oh, 100%. She's like the better 3/4.
The better 3/4. But no, so yeah. But for everybody who said prayers out there for Des, your prayers were answered. Yeah. So she's good. So James, do you remember what we were going to talk about today? What our topic was?
Yeah, it was going to be It was going to be 2 different topics, right? I think the first one wasn't it. What was it again? I labeled the. You're gonna have to take this one because I went blank right now, David.
We're gonna talk about. We're gonna get into staff interactions with us here.
So the last time we aired, we kind of discussed, or not last time we aired, a couple shows ago, James, you brought up about, because yourself personally had personally experienced, a couple rough rides trying to get in and out of facilities
for visiting.
Huh?
Visiting.
Yeah, visiting to see some friends of yours, and we talked about that. We kind of went into depth a little bit and about just the obstacles that people face and just the bullshit, like straight up, like sometimes that's the best way to put it. It's just the unnecessary nuances of getting into prison to see somebody, and we talked about that quite a bit, so we kind of just wanted to piggyback off of that, because it may have sounded that day as if we were staff bashing, because I personally feel some kind of way about that. Anybody that's had family members, because a lot of prisoners don't get anybody to come see them. Those of us that are fortunate enough to have people that care enough about us to come see us, it's a blessing. And so for years and years and years, I have people that have had to deal with this stuff, and so we were talking about it that day. It kind of was it was a personal thing, and so it may have sounded like we were staff bashing, So we just want to make some clarifications and touch on that. But the topic today was basically the culture of staff, the relationship, interaction, and culture of staff and inmates. Residents, whatever you want to call them.
We're no longer we're no longer inmates. That's not a
it's not
a proper term anymore. We are incarcerated people, incarcerated individuals.
Yeah, residents of the state.
Yep, we are residents in here.
Right. So when we were talking about that day, I just wanted to touch on, that a lot of times they're up there.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
And it's understandable sometimes why some of them act that way, because you got to remember, a lot of people are, not a lot of people, but there's people out there bringing in drugs. There's people out there introducing contraband. There's people out there just, intentionally breaking the rules, and so a lot of times the staff are trained to be on the lookout for that stuff. Now they tend to get overzealous about it, and I think what happens is they forget, because when they get trained in the academy and they get trained, they train them of this us versus them mentality. They used to. That's the older the regime. The same way when we came into the system, we were trained with the us versus them mentality. But I think what happens a lot of times is the staff forget that when they're out there dealing with these visitors, those visitors are not prisoners, and it's hard for them to differentiate between the two, because, as far as they're concerned, these are people in here that are sympathetic towards inmates and prisoners, and they're gang supporters, and they're introducing drugs, and they have all these predisposed notions about people, and so sometimes it's hard for them to separate the two, that okay, hold on, I'm not dealing with these prisoners, I'm dealing with their family members. Their family members are not incarcerated, they've done nothing, and so I think that's in part why, for a long time when I had the us versus them mentality, when I used to see them as they were my enemies and they're out to get me and this, that, and the other thing, I took everything personal. When they hassled my family, I took it personal. Oh, they're doing that because they're out to get me. They're trying to discourage my family from coming to see me. And don't get me wrong, there's absolutely staff that are built like that. There's absolutely. But it wasn't personal about me. It was just about the prisoner and the officer mentality, the us versus them. So a lot of times they are out there trying to make this process as miserable as possible. They were for years and years. But you also have to remember what kind of environment they're working in. Those staff, a lot of the visiting staff, are also the very same staff that at one time were working on these yards, on these floors, in these pods. And so to be here, these are staff that are getting assaulted. These are staff that are being disrespected. These are staff that they're being brought into work, and what at one time prison was a very hostile and disrespectful and toxic work environment. Yeah. So when they get out there dealing with other people, our family members just become an extension of us. So it's somewhat understandable. Looking back, to play devil's advocate, I can understand it somewhat now. I do believe that culture is changing as a whole. The old regime who sat through prison as a battleground, basically, who sat through prison and seen how quick an inmate can turn on a staff for no reason, how, watch their coworkers be assaulted. Why, they've seen just the very same things that we've seen that conditioned us for a long time to hate cops, to play the victim and feel like they were out to get us. One thing that was the hardest for me to understand, though, is the cops weren't out to get me. You know what I mean? I brought them to me. It's not like they came into work today and said, I'm going to get Nava. The reality was is I put a target on my back, and they were doing their job. They didn't just come in randomly and say, I'm going to find somebody in my building to hassle today. Again, this is not a full disclaimer, because there are staff that were built like that. You get one, and even the other staff don't like working with those guys because they make the environment toxic for them as well. Especially when you're working in a dangerous prison and you got this staff that wants to come in and his sole purpose is to come in there and be an authoritarian. He's disrespecting, he's disrespecting cells, and it's just a horrible thing. But for the most part, the majority of staff, they're not like that. And the ones that are assholes, it's because...
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
There's bad apples everywhere.
Right.
And that's the thing, and that goes on both sides of the spectrum. And we understand that now. I don't look at these guys when they come in. I don't see like, oh, well, this is them. These are those guys. These are the dudes in green. And I don't look at it like that. All I see, okay, well, this is a person.
Doing
And
his
I
job.
do, yeah, he's doing his job. But I do wonder. I'm like, I wonder if this guy's in here like taking care of his mom or an elderly parent. If this is somebody who was a first generation to have a good job like this and has a lot on his shoulders. This may be a person that has siblings. This may be a person that may be straight out of the military and that was over here protecting our country. And that
You look for those black flags on their vest.
yeah, I do. I look
Yeah.
for the good qualities in the individual as a person that I have to interact with whenever I do. And I'm not looking like, okay, well, is this the dude that's is this the dude that just beat somebody with a baton or did something crazy like that? I'm not thinking that. I'm thinking, well, this guy, these are good people. I'm not looking for the bad apples in that bunch. I'm just seeing people that are just going about their day doing what they do, and they don't hassle me because I don't hassle them, and I'm not participating in making their environment a dangerous place.
And they know who is and who isn't.
Yeah, and so I don't have those types of issues with them anymore because I'm not a threat to anybody. I'm still in blue, so I guess there is some sort of a security issue there that they have to be aware of and they're trained for. But I'm not seeing the outward hostility that I used to see back in the day. I came in 2000, and back then it was a lot different, James. Like 2000, when you got off that bus, like they're screaming at you, they're up on you. They're telling you, like I can't repeat some of the things because we will get banned. But it is like you're meeting.
Because it was about corrections then.
Yeah, it is like you're meeting a drill instructor. If you got a look on your face and you're not saying nothing, but it's kind of like just a certain look, they'll be up on you. That would have been in the past, though. That's over 20 years ago. That's a different time. And there's a lot of people that were incarcerated that were the same way, though. They'll be up on them. It was the same. It was a double-sided thing right there. Where it's like, all right, some fools, if they're brave enough to open their mouth right there, they're gonna get mopped up. There's dudes that it comes from both sides. But now the culture's shifting in here. These people, I don't see, like I said, there's dirty people, there's corrupt people that get caught up. It happens. We all know about it. It happens out there. There's court cases. These people, if they commit a crime, then they're taking a risk of losing their pension. They're taking a risk of losing, obviously their jobs, their pension, their livelihoods, and they're going to start from scratch, and they're probably going to get incarcerated themselves. So they risk a lot, and so it's not something that these people are going to just do lightly. These guys they're just going about their business, Now there's things that I wish they would do more of sometimes, but that's not for me to decide. That's their supervisors, their higher ups, people that make policy and rewrite policy and make amendments. They're the ones who decide how these guys work. That's not for me to decide. My job is just to make sure that I'm not a part of the problem anymore. All I do is go about my business, go to work, go to school, come back, stand up for count, turn the light on, and sit back down, and we just mind our own business. When there's alarms, yeah, I look and see what's happening, but I make sure that I'm not hindering what they're doing, when they're responding. I get out of the way, I get off of the track, I go sit in the grass where all the ants are at, and I just kind of just kick on back and we go about our business, But I don't feel the same outward hostility from them, and I don't give it off anymore.
And that was, isn't it pretty safe to say, Dave, though, that was one of the biggest issues that we had, one of the biggest character defects and flaws that we used to possess was authority problems, authority issues. You know what I mean? We had. I know you did. I know I did as well. Like that was one of the biggest things is I couldn't handle authority. I had such an opposition to authority that they didn't have to do anything. Like as soon as they walk in, I'd go straight to my window and be like, oh, look at this pond. I'll look at this. I was always trying to think of something. So I already had a outward negative disposition about it.
I was obviously hostile. I was hostile. I didn't. If they said something to me, I was the one that said something back. I was the idiot. I knew that's just what it was. And if they hit my pad, I didn't have shit anyway, so I didn't give a fuck. I was like, I haven't had shit in a long time. You fools been clearing out myself for a while. If you want this extra pair of shoes, you're gonna have to come get them. that was my mentality back then, and they would. They'd be like, all right, motherfucker.
Yeah,
you know, we're gonna
what we get paid the big bucks for.
We're gonna come pick up them shoes. They'll send the biggest motherfucking CO I ever seen. I'll be like, damn, I don't know where they found this fool at, you know? Like, they release these fools from the back room somewhere, you know? Hey, James,
with a leather mask on.
Hey, these fools will walk up, right? These fools will walk up, yeah, and I would be like, holy shit! Like these motherfuckers look like linebackers, right?
Coming in like lucha libre,
and there'll be a bunch of them, you know? I'll be like, where did you find 15 people this size in this whole part of California?
Right.
And they're in front of
straight in from high desert.
And they are in front of my door, and they are pissed off. Yep, I'll be like, damn.
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
It don't even matter if you give them the shoes; they're coming in anyway. So you can have these shoes and these other ones that you didn't know about.
The only thing they're gonna leave behind is those shoes. They're gonna take everything else.
Yeah, you wanted those shoes so bad. Well, here you go. We're taking you, but your shoes are staying.
Yep, them are no joke.
Matter of fact, put those shoes on because we want to knock you right out of them.
Yep, the fools will tell you too. Look, man, like we're gonna hurt you. Like, wait a minute, is that illegal? And it's like, oh yeah.
That's the fun part about it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I got you for 5 minutes of playtime. You ain't going nowhere. Hey, freak show.
That was the motherfuckers right there. Yeah. Yep. Look how bad me straight. Yep.
All right. So, these calls they only last for 15 minutes, and they're automatically cut off. So David and Jesse will be calling back. They'll be calling back shortly. And for those of you that are new here, normally we have these live shows on not Fridays, on Sundays, at about 4:30 or so, and it's been an ongoing thing for the last. It's been going on for, let me see, Weed Wolf put, I made your stash is a little better than mine. You guys crack me up with the stash comments.
This call is now being recorded.
Link. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado en de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5. Gracias por utilizar Global Link.
Hello.
Yes, sir. What's up, James?
All right.
Yeah, so I mean, basically, what we're saying though too, what we're trying to do is we're trying to like level it out because we didn't want to come across as if we were bashing anybody last time, and the reality of it is it's a two-sided coin. You know, there's a lot of the old regime, a lot of the old COs, they were conditioned that way, and it was necessary because the reality is the second they let their guard down, they were in a vulnerable position. You know what I mean? The reality was prisoners were out to get over on the staff. They were out always trying to find a way to cut a corner. That's just how we were conditioned. We were criminals and we were outlaws and we were trying to find a way. And in such a dangerous environment, they let their guard down the wrong way. They get caught slipping. Then that could be their ass. That could be their job. That could be their ass.
Yep. So, and the safety of the people working with them.
Right. And yet their coworkers. So the reality is, it was better on them to just be assholes to us full time
across the board.
Yeah, across the board. Because the second they let up, we find some way to beat the cotton on them. So the truth about it is, it's understandable. That's what it used to be. That's what prison used to be. Don't get me wrong. There still is that element in here, right? But the truth about it is, this California model, it's coming. You know what I mean? It's happening, and a lot of the old regime who are conditioned, just like there's a lot of old convicts that no matter how hard you get them to try to understand that, hey, things are changing. The culture of prison is different now, man. You can let your hair down a little bit. Maybe you should start thinking about doing something else. Maybe something that can help get you out of prison or something a little more pro-social. A lot of dudes are just like, no, they're stuck in their ways. And it's the same thing with a lot of the old COs. You know, they're just like, oh, well, you know what? I'm just going to retire and get up out of here because I know what I know. And they're not, it's going to be too hard for them to see prison in any other light than what they've seen it as 25, 30 years ago. You know, what they've seen it as their first 20 years of working in CDC. You know, so it's nothing. You know, no slide against them. You know, they're doing what they had to do. Just like when we came in. You know, you either adapted or you got ran over.
Yep.
And we adapted. We became the same kind of same kind of individuals so that we could survive in our environment. They were doing the same thing. They're just as much affected by prison culture as we are, and you're seeing that same thing now. The same way that the population culture is changing, the staff culture is also changing because this new California model. You know,
yeah.
you see it all the time in these. Did you have anyone to add, Big?
Well, I was going to say just like you know, and this goes to you never know who listens to these. You don't know who listens to these. You don't know if there's people in green that listen. You don't know. You don't know. And just we have to. I just want everybody to know we have to get used to this just like they do. This is a learning curve for us also. There's people who came in and maybe didn't have a history in prison and this is their first term. Honestly, vale verga. They're gonna figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Whatever happens. they're gonna figure it out just like the rest of us. Because they don't have a choice because they don't know what's going on anyway. But the people who have been in here a long time, Jesse's been in here continuously on this one term for 23 years. He's not even going to board again until he's in for 25 years. I came in 2000. I've been here 14 years continuously, but I came in on my first term in 2000. I have over 24 years in CDCR. So I came into the system with the old regime. This is a learning curve. This is something that I'm taking a conscious effort to be the best version of myself that I can be. I want to interact with them respectfully. I do what I'm told. There's things that they tell me that I don't like, but I respect their authority. I'm not going to agree with everything. I don't want to come back to myself sometimes. I don't like it. Sometimes I do want to come back in here and crash out and get away, but guess what? I know that I don't make the rules around here. I'm here in prison for a reason. I understand that. So I want to do what I'm told, and I want to get the hell out of here. I don't want to stay in prison for the rest of my life. I am sentenced to 40 years to life as things stand right now. But I don't want to die in prison. I don't want to stay in here for no 40 years because I can't figure it out. Because the board is going to give me an opportunity to go home. I become eligible, but the only thing that's going to keep me in prison is my behavior. If I can't accept that I'm not in control, I can't accept that I'm not in a position of power. The power and control is what a lot of us old gangbangers have issues with. If I can't come to terms with that, hey, a supervisor out of society is going to tell me what to do. Somebody in law enforcement, a lawmaker, a policymaker out there.
Your wife.
Yeah, my wife is going to be like, I don't want to do this. And I have to understand that I'm not in control of other people's decisions. I'm only in control of my own decisions and
your own responsibilities.
And my own responsibilities, my own responses. And that's what I got to do. And that's what being a man is, and what a civilized person is to me, is doing what the hell you got to do to put food on your table for your family, but staying within society's laws. And that's it. So if I can't learn in here how to interact with these guys, because these guys are not my enemy, just because they put on a suit and come in here and work, they're not my enemy. I was my own worst enemy. They're here to protect and serve. They're involved with law enforcement just like any other officer out there in society. And guess what? They're going to tell me some shit I don't like sometimes. I might not like it when I get a damn parking ticket. I might not like it if I get pulled over for speeding. But guess what? I have to respect that those laws are there for everybody else's safety as well as my own. And I have to accept that if I break a rule or if I break a traffic violation or whatever and I go to court and I get a freaking fine or whatever the hell they give me, but I have to accept that that's there for a reason. It's there for public safety. I no longer want to be a problem out there in society, just like I don't want to be a problem in here anymore. And it's a learning curve. I want, under this new California model, it's weird for me to shake an officer's hand. I was going to attempt to shake an officer's hand when I was 18 years old, and somebody introduced me to an officer when I first came into prison, and the dude recoiled like I was sick or something. And I've never...
A leper?
Yeah, like I was a leper. I didn't know better. I grew up shaking people's hands. Yeah, and so when I was 18 years old, I was with the homies and like, oh, this is Officer so-and-so, and I reached out to shake his hand. That fool pulled back like, hey, hey, get at your little homie,
yeah.
And they realized,
don't
hey,
touch me,
the first question he asked me was, this your first term or huh? And I said, I am. And they just looked at the dude like, hey, school this kid, You know?
Get them a jump rope and tell them patty cake is not what we do.
Yeah, and so now under the California model, they want us to have these interactions with them.
Yeah.
You know, I shook an AW's hand in Calipat. I've shaken a CC3's hand. I've shaken the captain's hand. I've, you know, during I was a valedictorian over there for one of the graduation ceremonies, so I had to give a speech, and I shook all the administration's hand, and that was crazy to me. That was something that, and not in a bad way. That was just like, man, you know, this place is changing, because them dudes will, you know, most of them will like.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
So that's all it is. We have to learn, and we have to adjust our culture also, because it's been it's not a blurred line. It's black and white. We see that line drawn across the sand, us and them. And so now they want us to interact more because it hasn't been working. They were, not them, I don't want to say as individuals, the staff, but the mass incarceration policy or technique, it was creating monsters, man. It was creating animals. It was like a machine grinding out hardcore criminals and gang members. These guys I did not come in here a hardcore gang member. Yes, I came in here a gang member. I came in here a criminal, but I left way different than I came in. I was a different species when I left.
You were forged by fire.
I was forged by fire, and some people rise to the occasion in horrible ways, and I did.
And that's like you said, it's a culture, and and that's what we're hoping to get. And we brought up the topic about the visiting thing, and I just hope that in due time and with more training and more experience, that a lot of the staff can start to separate that like you said, the rules are there for a reason. The procedures and the policies and the processes are there for a reason, because they're not getting into an amusement park. Our visitors are coming into a prison. So it's understandable, and the staff have a responsibility to protect the institution. But a lot of times they tend to become arbitrary, and they tend to become authoritarian about it. And I think as the culture starts to shift, I think so will the training. It is already shifting for them, so they just got to start to get it through their heads a little bit that hey man, whatever little qualms you have with inmates and prisoners, you got to separate yourself from that individual when you're out here dealing with their loved ones and their family and interacting with them. And it's happening, and it will. You see it like the culture is obviously working, the change is obviously working, because you see, like for us here, we got a bunch of these staff that just came from Chuckawalla, and that just goes to show how your environment will condition you, because it for the most part, it was the same training in the academy that brought in a lot of these guys. And when you bring them here to this prison, a level 3 and 4 prison that's very dangerous, versus starting them out in Chuckawalla, a level 2 prison that I'm sure it has its violence up and down, but it's nothing to
a little different.
It's nothing to the extent as it is in this prison. And so it was easier for them to adapt to that California model over there, because they don't see the same things that they see here. And so when you're seeing the difference with just the staff that are coming here that you're interacting with from Chuckawalla, you could see the difference. Like, oh, okay, this guy's, he hasn't been desensitized by the prison culture, completely, because he comes from a prison that wasn't as dangerous as this one. And then they come here, and you could see the difference, the contrast between what it's like to have to be a CO in a prison like this versus a CO in a prison over there. However, all the prisons are starting to shift like that. A lot of like I said, the old staff are moving out because they realize, okay, well, there's no place for me in these kind of prisons. It's like you said, change is too hard.
They may not want to change. They've seen too much.
Right.
They've seen what could be what we've became in here. Yeah. They see it firsthand. Now, there is got to be a because just like me, right? And I understand from my point of view. I've seen some of them at their worst, and that has me thinking like, damn, how many other motherfuckers are like this? That we just don't know or we don't interact with, so I do feel that way. So I could see it coming from their end, where they're just like, damn, like I don't know who's really doing what.
Right.
I can't tell. They all look the same. They're all in blue. They got the same looking tattoos. They got the same little mannerisms. Now all these dudes are doing the self-help programs and stuff like that. These dudes that are in these programs, some of them are getting caught up doing shit. Some of them are fighting. some of these people, they all look all squeaky clean out in the visiting room, but there's people dying on my yard. You know, it's like, okay, when they have a failure in their security, somebody dies. And we know it. We know the moment that something bad happens or that somebody brought something in, we know it because the ambulance will be here 3 times a day on our yard. I've seen bodies get pulled out because somebody brought something in they shouldn't have, and they couldn't handle it. It was too much and all that, and these dudes fell out. And it happens a lot. You can always tell it, and that's gotta be a like a fucked up thing to have on you if you're responsible for screening those people out, you know. And it's like, damn. Well, apparently, you know, they're like, you know, you do your job, but apparently you didn't do it right because we know you didn't because 5 people died in the prison.
And you also have to think about it like that too. Who catches the blowback when things like that are happening? It's not. I mean, the inmates do it. The shit rolls down, but the reality of it is, when it comes from Sacramento and it comes from us, who do you think is catching the pressure? They are. So it's hard. It's easy to understand.
And we understand that, yeah.
Right. Why they might be acting some kind of way when it's like, hey man, I remember when I was deep in my shit, you know, and staff that were here just catching their check, just doing, and it's like, hey man. Like I ain't trying to mess with you, but you bringing this bullshit to the building. When you got sergeants, you got squad, you got all this administration coming into my building from outside because of the stupid shit you're doing in here, then you can't get upset when I got to come shit where you lay your head.
Yep.
Don't get upset with me. You brought them here. I don't fuck with you other than that, but look what you're doing. You know?
And understand this, though. We cannot, Jesse and I personally, we cannot safely do anything about that. About when we see the dudes on the yard. We see the dudes on the yard. We don't know what they got going on. We can't put ourselves into those situations to even try to fix those things. That's not our job. We're not the cops. Now, I'm not.
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
I'm not saying, oh, well, we agree with them and we're on their side, the dudes who do that. No, it's not that. It's just we're not involved in those conversations. We're not involved in that lifestyle.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Man, we got hit by a double whammy. And I know we got about, I would say, about 30 seconds. And I want to go ahead and acknowledge this question right here on the YouTube side. We got Elias, man, El Hombre Hielitos in the chat. What's up, babe? What's up, Elias, man?
Yeah, I want to know who's on this chat right now. We're gonna give you a call back right now, James. You good to go, right?
Yeah, for sure. And then I want to read off Elias man's question that he got for you guys.
All right, give you a call back.
All right, cool. All right. So right now, you know, if you've been listening to these, you know, these phone calls, or if you received these phone calls from GTL, you know, when they come in from state prison, they only last for 15 minutes. So we reached that point where the call was automatically cut off. So right now, when they call back, I'm gonna go ahead and read off Elias man's question, and he wrote that question on the YouTube side. We are doing a double stream. We are streaming on TikTok and on YouTube. So once they call back in, we'll go ahead and continue, and I'll go ahead and ask them these questions. And any comments, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat, and I'll go ahead and ask him these questions to the best of my ability here.
This call is now being recorded.
Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado de la prisión estatal de Centinela, Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga gracias por utilizar Global Tel Link.
Hello. So we just had Sanjo 408 tap in. She writes hi. We also got Cisco Sub from the Valle Imperial. We also got Maribel Vasquez 4956. She writes hello, guys.
Hey, how you guys doing?
That's right. Thank you guys for listening and tuning in. Got somebody local right here from Valle Imperial. That's right, in our backyard.
Yep. No, that's cool, man. Glad you guys are here.
And that's on the YouTube side?
This would be on the TikTok side. On the YouTube side, we got let me see who we got. We got Maribel on the YouTube side, and we also got Juan. We got Scorpio Rising and Elias man.
That's cool, man. We send ours to you guys. Glad you can spend a Sunday evening.
And
still afternoon, huh? Just considered afternoon still.
We got some more comments right here. We got Sanjo 408. She writes, God with them, keep them in my prayers. We also got Carla Diaz. Hello, everyone from Santa Rosa, California. We also got Anthony, got someone from Indio. That's right. There it is. Hey, that's your backyard right there.
Super.
For sure.
Like right there.
Yep, that's
What's
all.
up? What's up, Indio? We send a shout out to Indio.
Yeah.
I usually have the Cochelas or Cochelanos here. You know, they show up from time to time. Can't forget Indio. Yeah, I spent a lot of days in Indio Halls, Indio County, city of Indio. My case is out of Indio. Matter of fact.
Hey, and I haven't been able to. I wasn't able to find any Coachellas right here in New York. I've been looking high and low, the subway system. I figured that if anywhere I could find one would be on the subway system, on the metro or the MTA, and I wasn't able to find one. We also got a comment from Miss V Nava from Indio. Also, there it is.
That's cool, man. Send a shout out to to everybody from Indio, like Coachella. What's up?
We also got let me see. I can't even see that far. Cow Love 18. Saludos from Chi-Town, from Chicago.
That's cool. That's cool, Chi-Town.
Chi-Town.
Yeah. No, that's cool. I like having people from all over the country, sending theirs. We try to bring you a little taste of California and what the prison system is here and what it's not, honestly. A lot of people have misconceptions about the prison system in general, whether it be the feds or other state prisons, but California prison system is, I want to say it's the largest, but Texas is pretty big too. So California is probably the largest, huh? What do you think, James? You got those stats?
Yeah. LA County. The majority of people that tap in, they come in from LA County, and we also got another comment from Anthony. Anthony writes, "I know Virginia as well," and then we also got Happy Go Lucky. She writes, "What's up?" And Happy Go Lucky, I want to share something with you guys. She actually, well, I was on a call with Silas the other day, and she's been tuning in for some time, and she jumped on a call with us, and she was giving some of her experience. She's been in prison. I think the last time she went, she did 8 years, and she's been on the right track for the last few years, getting her life back together.
Hey, congratulations.
Yeah, Silas was telling me about it. That's awesome, man. Definitely, like Dave said, congratulations. It's great to hear about those success stories, man. Keep doing what you're doing, because you already know this stuff's for the birds. If you personally experienced it, then you know for sure.
Yeah, women's prison is not no walk in the park either. No. I know.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Jesse and I know many homegirls that were actually like pretty tight with us in the past that have gone through through the prison system in California, and it's rough. It's rough. There's girls that they're some knuckleheads, man. They got the shoe, they got death row, they got some girls that are turned the hell up.
Yeah, I for sure would not want to do time in a woman's prison.
Hell no. There's these fools that are like
a whole other monster.
Yeah, there's a fool that to California, to people in California, like however you identify, and there's fools that'll manipulate that process, and I'll be like, all right, well, good luck. You're gonna come back in beat down.
Yeah.
Them girls are not gonna put up with that. You think you're gonna go in there to a freaking paradise?
That was one of the biggest things, one of the hardest things for me to, like, culture shocks for me to experience when I came to this side was the lack of structure. Now imagine going over there. You know what I mean? It's 10 times worse over there, no structure in a female's prison. So like seeing what it was like here, it's the same thing in YA. Like I can only imagine what.
I paroled too. I paroled from the they took me from Palm Hall, and I don't know if I ever told you, James, when I had to parole my boxers.
No, you didn't.
That story?
Nah, you didn't tell me that story.
Yeah, I did it. Well, because I had an indeterminate shoe term, so whenever I did all my time mostly in Palm Hall and Chino, because I was a violators reception at that time, but I still had a pending case from why I was there in the first place. So they would make me do a year flat in Chino, which was just we call it year flat, which is just 12 straight months. That was the maximum violation unless you picked up more time in there. But so generally that's the max they can give you on a violation, and that's like the worst, where there's no like you don't get out early or nothing like that. You just do a flat year. They call it a bullet. So I went in there, hit a year flat, and I had a case pending in Riverside County, so they put a hold on me, so I couldn't parole. And since I left Palm Hall's that's the hole in Chino. So I left Palm Hall to Riverside County Jail, and I I was in a paper suit, that one of them paper jumpsuits.
I know exactly what
But
you're talking about.
in Palm Hall, all we wear. A lot of people don't know this. In the hole, we generally just wear boxers. We get these big old 5X boxers, and we run a drawstring through them, and so that's our shorts. Those are our boxers, but they're also our shorts. So I had those. I have some like Jaflap shoes. They call them Jaflaps because they're made from like I think they're made in Japan, and they're like these little, like, I don't know, they're like slide-on shoes. So I had those, and then I had just a white shirt, because you wear all white in the hole in Palm Hall. Most of that cities you wear white. So they take me to Riverside County Jail, and I only had a $500 bail. I had like a $5,000 bail, but it was $500 to get out. So I bailed out from the holding cell. But when the officers were releasing me, they're like, "Well, where's your clothes?" I'm like, "Fuck, I ain't got no clothes. This is what I got." I told them, "You ain't got nothing I can leave with, like some donated clothes or nothing." They're like, "Look, man, what you got on is what you got to go out with." So yeah, I ended up walking out of the front doors of the Riverside County Jail in them shoes and them big old boxers, big old boxers in a white shirt. So I had to cruise downtown Riverside in some boxers. But so anyway, before I went to the county jail, they pulled us over to CIW, which is a California Institution for Women. So we went from Chino Prison to CIW because they picked up a girl she was going to the county also. She paroled to hold also, and I was tripping because when she got in the car, she was bald. She had a shaved head, and she looked like a homie. And I seen her, and I was like, all right, this is new because I don't discriminate on nobody for their sexuality or nothing like that. So I was just a little surprised because I'd never really seen bald like homegirls like that.
Yeah.
But I guess it was pretty common in there. So when she got in the car, she was bald, and she's like, "Well, so were you out those?" And I was like, "What's cracking?" So we're just talking and chopping it up, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm just waiting for my old lady to get out." We both turned ourselves in together. She's doing her violation right now. I got to take care of this shit in the county. So I got to chopping it up with her, and she was cool, man. She was just like a homie, And she was telling me about CIW and about the little setup right there, and it was pretty crazy to hear her stories,
Hey, David. So we actually got a comment on here from John Kelly, and it's actually for Jesse. They write, I know
Okay.
Jesse Nava from Indio, Bermuda, Dunes area.
Huh.
That's crazy. That's small crime. I actually got a case with him. As soon as you said that name, I knew who it was.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah,
That's the same one.
What's up, Johnny? Man, I haven't heard for this fool. And man, like since around the time I caught my case, he was actually man, that's a trip. Man, I don't know where you're at, but hit me up. Jesse, man. Yeah. He lived right down the street from me. He actually my high-speed chase, I don't know if I ever mentioned the high-speed chase that I got on this channel or not, but it was one of my previous charges before I got arrested for this murder. Somebody owed me some money, and I had taken a car from them, and I was just going to park the car and take off out of town because I was on the run for something else, and I was going to leave the car at my daughter's mom's house and just have it there in the garage, and when they paid the money, they could have taken it to my daughter's mom, and she would have given them the car keys, but they ended up calling the cops on me after I left the house, you know what I mean? And it was John Kelly and just a couple of homies or whatever, and it was crazy because we're flying back to Bermuda Dunes. He's in front of us in his dad's van with my homeboy and some hyena, and when the Huda tried to he's behind us. My bad, I'm tripping. I'm in the front, they're behind us, and I had the car packed down because I didn't just take his car. I took his computer. I took all his stuff in his house, all his surveillance equipment. It was actually my pad. It was my trap spot. It was my dope spot. But this dude, it was a whole long situation. Long story short, he ended up owing me a bunch of money, and I was no longer going to be posted up at his pad anymore. So I took everything that I thought was of value at the house, including his car, because he, this whole
standard, standard dope man shit,
standard dope game gone bad,
Yep.
And so anyways, Desvalta calls the cops, and instead of, handling it in the streets, he turns around and calls the cops and tells them that I took his car. So as I'm flying back to Bermuda Dunes, the Hudas are going that way towards La Quinta to respond to the call, and they see the car and they flip a bitch and they get behind us right there in Washington and 111.
Yeah.
And we're right there by the beer hunter and getting ready to cross over 111 going towards Bermuda Dunes, and the sheriffs get behind the van. And so as soon as we take off, I could see from the rearview mirror. And mind you, I got the seats, the back seats, everything packed down. So I could see in the mirror, on the side view mirror, that the Huda's trying to get behind me, and he's trying to get between us. But this fool's running interference in his van. John, he's running interference. He's not allowing them to get in between us. So of course, I'm gone. I'm out of here. I mean, I made a run for it, figuring that they're going to just stay distracted with this fool because he was running. He kept staying on my bumper, so the cops couldn't get between my car and his, and they realized that he was with me, and so he just, like I said, he distracted them and gave me time to just punch it and take off. So it led to like a 20-minute high-speed chase where I ended up slamming the car through my other crimey's house, the neighbor.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Your boy was on some Dukes of Hazzard shit. I mean, so I ended up going all through Bermuda Dunes and ended up in Indio. My thing was, I knew I wasn't going to get away from them. I wanted to get somewhere where they wouldn't stick the dog on me, where I could surrender without getting chewed up by the dog, acting old Spooky Johnson. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I ended up going into my co-defendant on the murder that I'm busted for now. I ended up going into his housing tract, and I slammed on the brakes in the cul-de-sac, but the Huda slammed right into the back of me as I had the door open because I was going to jump out,
Yeah.
And when I had the door open, he slammed into the car, and the car went through the house next door to my crimey's house, and I fell out of the car. And I jumped up, and I ended up getting away. But of course, it was the whole thing. They ended up telling on me later, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the whole moral of that story was John was the one running interference for me.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. No, he got busted. Yeah, they got busted.
Oh, you took down John, man.
Yeah, him.
Sorry, John.
Yeah.
The boy right here, but it happens from time to time.
Yeah. Okay. Hopefully, man. I wonder what John's doing out there, man. I haven't seen or heard from that fool in years. And
that name sounds familiar too, because I was staying in Bermuda Dunes for a while.
Yep. Somebody told me he ended up taking off to L.A. or something like that. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but yeah, if you want to touch base, man, just I don't know what you got going on in your life and shit, but you can obviously tell by what's going on in here, that I've got my life together and I'm trying to get out of prison now. And I just hope everything's going good in your life, man. That was definitely different times for the both of us. We were kids. We were both 17 at the time. We were juveniles.
Yeah.
And so it's just a trip. Think about it, a little blast from the past.
Yep, that's cool, man.
I don't know if that war dog was necessary.
Yep. Yeah, that was a super war dog.
Hey, I gotta throw this in there sometimes. That'll help us retain, the viewers. I'm pretty sure they love hearing stories like that. So
occasional war dog, yeah.
Yeah, it was a trip. Hey, you know what's crazy though, James, is that pad where I did all that shit at, right? Like that was I used to sell dope out of the house. I had that. It was one of my trap houses, and so we had I had like 3 foods set up at the same pad serving out of that house. Like it was like a 24-hour liquor store. You know what I mean? Like I was killing the game out of that pad. But we had
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
We had surveillance equipment set up right there so you could see all down the street, like some straight tweaker shit, you know what I mean? But it helped. It didn't do us no good. When they actually raided the pad, we had a
What'd you see? Like, oh damn, they're coming and they're deep. There's nothing we can do.
No, you know what was crazy? You know what was crazy though is well, watch. I'll call back right now. We're gonna call back.
Okay, for sure. All right. So for John, I'm not sure if you caught it, but he said if you could go and reach out to him, if you're interested in reaching out to him, you could do it through the GTL Getting Out app, and I think it gives you like, I don't know if it's like 5 credits or free 20 free credits, to allow for messaging and whatnot. His CDCR number, I believe I have it somewhere on the feed. If not, then it'll be located on the playlist. And the prison he's currently at, he's at Centinela State Prison. So they do have tablets. That's how they are able to reach out to me. They got these tablets. Allows them to make free phone calls and also send messages. And there they are. They're calling back.
This call is now being recorded.
Global Link. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Thank you.
You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5.
Cinco.
Gracias por utilizar Global Tel Link.
Hello, hello,
Hello?
hello.
Yep. Hey,
Yeah.
so, yes, can you hear me?
Yeah. Hey, let me read off a comment before you start. We got Dragon Lady, and she writes, "My husband is in Centinela. I just left him there from a visit."
Dragon lady, huh?
Yeah.
Well, welcome to Centinela.
What happened? What I missed?
No, somebody said my husband. My name is Dragon Lady. I just left. My husband is in Centinela, and I just left Centinela for visit.
Hey, yeah, that sucks that, that's good that you got to see your husband. That sucks that he's actually in prison in Centinela. And, like I always put out there, man, you ladies that you stand by your men in here, you could be the pinnacle for their change. If they're struggling, that's what my wife was for me. And just that love, it'll shine through no matter what they're into. If he's already in recovery, if he's already changing, if he's contemplating it, your love and dedication, it could be the one thing that puts him where he needs to be. So shout out to you, strong woman.
Yep, behind every good man there's a strong woman. They say it. We say it all the time in here. And I know dealing with this prison is probably not always the easiest. But so what else you got, James?
No. You remember I was supposed to read Eliasman's question, and
yeah.
and right now,
Get the boy like that.
when the call hanged up, I let John know that he could reach out to you through the GTL Getting Out app, and he said, "Okay, I'm on it." So hopefully he reaches out to you, and you guys are able to connect and whatnot. But I'm gonna go ahead and read Eliasman's question here, and he asks, "Does Jesse have any fears or apprehensions about the free world? What does he think would or could bring him back? I'm sure he will succeed, no doubt. He's very well spoken and makes sense."
Hey, that's an excellent question.
That's a great question. That's a home run. That's a layup. I mean, first of all, thanks for your what's that word? What's the word when?
Not sure.
Well, thanks for having faith in me. You know what I mean? So definitely because
Encouragement, support.
no, not encouragement, support, but basic faith. You know, where he believes in me. Thanks for believing in me. That's crazy. You got a brain fart.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, I appreciate that, Iceman, and I believe it wholeheartedly. You know what I mean? For sure, I'm definitely going to succeed out there. There's no failure isn't an option for me anymore. You know, and so as far as do I have any apprehensions or fear or anything like that? I have a bunch of them. You know, it's I'm going out there to live in a world and live in a society that I you know stood outside of for a very long time. You know, I'm not an alien. You know, I'm not from a different planet or a different world. But the reality of it is, like the way I've seen things and the way I dealt and the way I live my life in society was contrary to what it is and what I'm going to be doing when I get out of here now. So just all the things that I had at my disposal before are no longer options, you know. So going out there, everything's going to be a new experience for me, you know. Everything is, you know, it's not necessarily, you know, driving a car. Yeah, even driving a car, you know what I mean? Because most of the time when I was driving a car, I was riding dirty. I had a pistol. I had, you know, some sort of contraband on me, you know what I mean? So, and the reality of it was, I've lost so many cars because as soon as they pulled me over, with the driver's license or not, I'd take off running. You know, and I couldn't stay in the car. You know, and I've lost many cars like that. So even driving a car is going to be a new experience because now I don't have to look over my shoulder. Now I just got to follow the rules of the road. So there is a lot of fears. You know, I'm going to be responsible now. I'm responsible. You know, in prison, you know, your responsibilities are limited. You know, as you know, because you've been here, Iceman, so you understand that you know, though it's hard to navigate sometimes in here because of the situations we put ourselves in, everything is pretty much done for us, you know, other than the things that I'm doing today to prepare myself for society. You know, the pro-social activities, those aren't done for you, you know. So when I get out there to society, you know, paying my bills and navigating relationships and responsibility and rejection, those are three things that are definitely potential disasters for me, you know, because, you know, I'm going to get out there and you know, dealing with family, dealing with you know, co-workers, dealing with, you got to remember, I'm an ex-addict, I'm an ex-criminal, I'm an ex-gang member. All these things are high-risk situations for me, and I'm about to get out there into society, and it's gonna be a different experience for me, because like I said, people start being rude. There's drugs everywhere. There's alcohol everywhere. There's, I'm gonna be working in work environments that I may have toxic bosses, and I just got done talking about earlier how I had authority issues for so long, and though I don't possess those authority issues still, there's still residual conflict. There's still certain aspects, things that are gonna affect me negatively, and so. I worry about things like that. I don't worry so much that it incapacitates me or it's going to hinder me or anything like that. I welcome the challenge, but I'm definitely concerned about it. Paying my bills. Keeping a roof over my head. Just dealing with responsibilities. A lot of people may not accept me back into society the way that I'm expecting to be, just because I've changed my mind, my heart, my appearances, and everything. Some people out there may never get over the fact that I was in prison for 25 years for murdering an innocent man, and I don't feel like I look like a gang member. I do have a lot of gang tattoos, but by the time I get out of prison, they'll all be gone. So I'm hoping that I don't have to face that stigma. But I do have somewhat of a I do still possess some of those character traits that may be misconstrued as something else. You can't unlearn 25 years of prison overnight, So when I get out of there, I was just talking about it earlier. My sense of humor, there's those kind of things may not be acceptable in society because I've been around people that joke and play the same way I do, And so there's a lot of little things that.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Apprehensive about, but I welcome that and I accept that, because it's those kind of obstacles and those kind of stepping stones that I feel are going to strengthen me and make me a better man, and so like I said, coming back is not an option. Returning to crime is not an option. Losing a job and deciding to deal drugs or take the easy way to gain money is not an option. Hurting somebody is no longer an option, and so there's just there's a lot of different things that I'm going to have to deal with when I get out there, but the only way I'll be able to truly put myself to the test is being out there. I feel that I've already outgrown prison. A lot of times the board wants you to do 5 years clean, and I understand that because you're learning a lot in 5 years. I'll be learning things for the next 15, 20 years because I'll be living in a new place, but I believe that I've learned what I'm going to learn in prison, and now it's time for me to get out there into society and apply the things that I've learned, because I can never truly put them to the test until I'm experience new experiences. They call this a controlled environment, and once you learn to navigate this environment, you transcend this place. It's time to move on to something else and face whatever other obstacles society's going to throw at me. And I know they're going to be plentiful, but again, I welcome them.
What do you think would be your biggest challenge? Because I thought that's what he mentioned in the question also. What do you think is your biggest challenge that has a potential to bring you back?
The potential to bring me back.
Yeah, the one thing, because you have to understand what those are in order for you to address them.
Right.
We don't have it all figured out. We do the best we can based on the information we're given about hypothetical situations and whatnot, Right. But so it's better that we identify those things, because if you can't think of one at the top of your head, which is good, but what's going to be hard, where you're going to have to use every damn coping skill in the book.
Well, I think for me, to be honest with you, I think for me, it's going to be my recovery as a whole, and I know that's kind of general, right? But it's sobriety,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking right now in my head.
Yeah, sobriety is going to be the biggest thing, because everything has been so normalized out there. Everything's so generalized, and where are you really going to go that they're not going to be drinking? Mm-hmm. Where are you really going to go that I'm not going to be a hermit? I'm not going to, I'm not going to be a hermit. My kids are all old enough to throw their own parties and drink and do whatever. And I'm going to take off running every time I see, a responsible 20-something or 30-something-year-old person drinking something, So I believe the biggest challenge is going to be navigating.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Navigating those circumstances, because they're going to be in abundance. People are smoking weed out there like it's nothing. I turn on the TV, they're drinking everything. I never considered myself an alcoholic, so that's not the biggest thing for me. But I do understand that drinking alcohol could lead to harder substances. You know, I do understand when you start generalizing, normalizing, you get complacent, you start ignoring your relapse plans, and you start, you know, you don't have the carrot of your freedom or supervision dangled in front of you. It's easy to fall back and, oh, I got this figured out. I'm good. I'm not worried about it. I can kick it right here. And before you know it, you're like, you know what? Hey, let me hit that, dog. That's cool. You know, it's legal. It's not a big deal. Or, hey, let me get a drink. You know, and you start making those reservations, and you could, you know, one thing leads to another. That's just the reality. I got an addictive personality, you know, and so I know that that's not a real term, but the truth about it is it's easy for me to fall into things like that, you know, and so I just believe that's going to be the hardest thing because it's going to be a constant, you know. Other than that, like, I have the tools and I recognize it and I understand it, but because it's going to be so constant with all the other responsibilities of my life, you know, I have to stay mindful that these triggers are to the left and the right of me regularly.
Yeah, with me, I have to establish my social circle with people that are in recovery, because it's going to be hard, man. You know, like you said, there's going to be people out there that are drinking, that are smoking, that are, you know, and because that's normal. Now, I know enough to stay away from certain environments where I'm not going to come across any of the hard stuff. But what if, you know, the situation? What if it happens?
Right.
What if you're at
a work party?
What if you're at somebody's house and you go to somebody who's in recovery that you've known for years, and you show up at their pad and they relapsed? What happens if you go there and they pull out? And they're like, "Look, cool, like, this is what it is."
Hey, did you hear that?
Yeah.
I'm
What
gonna.
happened? We got flagged.
No, so yeah, we got flagged on TikTok, so I'm gonna cut the stream, but I'll open it right back up, and then let me see, I'm ending it now before we get booted, and then I want to go ahead and let you guys know the reason I did the sound was because we got Fish Slayer SoCal in the house, and he writes what did he write right here?
Man,
Wrote,
Fish
let me see
Slayer
where is
SoCal.
oh he writes, oh man, it seems like a good while since I've been able to jump on. Saludos to James, Jesse, and David, and he also shoots $20 your way, so I'll go ahead and get that to you guys' books, you know, ASAP. And then let me see. And then I asked him a question, you know. And then he writes, been out in the water fishing. I'm going next week again. It started to wind wind down. This should be my last trip, hopefully. Oh man, ooh, and man, and we got a lice
We
man
got that. Go ahead.
dropping another 20. So man,
Nice,
you
man.
guys got 40 smackaroonies coming your way. And all right,
Hey,
the mic
we
is yours.
appreciate you guys, man. That helps
That's
us.
right.
That helps us a lot. And so no, we knew.
Well, let's send our shout out to both of them first, though. Thank you.
Absolutely, yeah. Thank you
Awesome
guys.
to have Fish SoCal on the line. You know, we was kind of worried about him. We haven't heard from him in a while.
I suspected that he was out on the water.
Yeah,
because you had mentioned it before.
Yep.
Yeah, you had mentioned it before, and so we kind of like gave you the space to go out there and handle your business. We did miss you, man. We miss our conversations and stuff, even that we have off of the air, and we can't wait to talk to you. We were just talking about you today because we sent James some taffy. And so we sent
another clavo.
Yeah, we sent you a good one though, like a good amount, you know. And so something that you can actually you can have for yourself and stuff, you know. And we made different flavors, but yeah, man, we've been making our plans. We've been talking about where you were offering us to work and stuff. We've been talking about that a lot, and it's
So thank both you guys for the donations, man, for sure.
Yeah, Elias, man, we do talk about you a lot. We have one of our boys that just headed up to San Francisco that paroled. I'm pretty sure you might have seen the stream by now. But so you have been in our thoughts, you've been in our prayers, man. And you guys are some of our most our biggest supporters, man. And you guys keep us there's times where we do feel bad, we feel depressed, or we feel like this is never gonna end, you know, this incarceration, this feeling in here. And we think about you guys, man, and all the people that are rooting for us, and that gets us out of our little slump sometimes, you know. And I was wondering what, maybe using the...
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
I told you not to do it.
I was wondering what might have got us...
No, I'm talking to my daughter because she's over here pressing buttons. She wants to press the little bullhorn, the little wah, 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 wah.
It came on perfect. I was like, hey, when you hit the horn, I froze. Like, are we getting pulled over? Are the red and blue lights behind us? James, look forward. Keep your hands up on the wheel.
Yeah. thought we were gonna have to go on another high-speed chase. I said, "Where's Jonathan Kelly when I need him?"
You're like, Dave, Jesse, close your guys' doors. You don't have to run anymore. We're good.
Yeah, we're good. We're back in the car. We're legit.
Yeah, slow down a little bit right here by this wall right here. I think we can hit this, Jeff.
Yeah. Hit the corner. You're in the C4.
Hey, it's about to cut off.
James, I'll just run later.
All right. So I had to cut the. I'm having some technical difficulties over here. I'm getting attacked. No. Okay, empuja empuja Push this one right here. Empuja este. No muevas. My daughter's already trying to mess up my stream over here. Okay, a ratito. Yeah. All right, so they're gonna be calling me back right now, and as soon as they do, we'll go ahead and continue. We're live on the line with Jesse and David, and let me go ahead and look at the comments over here on this side. Me vas a poner my Statue of Liberty.
Esta es
This
Global
call is now
Telling.
being
Usted
recorded.
tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado de la prisión estatal de Centinela, Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. Gracias por utilizar Global Telling.
James. What's up,
man?
man?
she's trying to get on camera right here. I'm trying to restrain her over here.
Yeah.
Yep. Part of the town too.
Yep.
I see.
We gotta put her like a little. You gotta have like a little wrestler mask, like a little lucha libre mask.
She's trying to
put it on her, be like, all right, now you can come on camera.
I do got one. I got a blue demo one, but I don't have it on me right now. Now she's trying to brush my mustache now.
Hey, this channel don't feel the same without our boy Fish Slayer SoCal. It just doesn't.
Hey, we also got Bruce Willis. Come on, man, we got everybody coming in today.
Bruce Willis.
What's up, my guy?
Yep, that's cool, man.
Hey, Bruce Willis got himself a nice little lineup on a fantasy football. I'm hoping we take it to the Super Bowl this year.
That's cool.
I'm gonna need something out of that pot.
Yep. Nah, that's cool, man. But we appreciate you. Hey, you want to know something that we wanted to talk about from our earlier topic, right, about staff interactions?
Yeah.
And I wanted to bring it up because we were kind of done talking about the topic anyway, but something came to mind, and I wanted to bring up about this. There's a staff, what is it called? A recommendation box, or it's like you can, what is it called though? It's called a commendation box. Yeah, where they have like this little process now where you can put, you can write about positive interactions with staff, and you can actually get them like a reward of like, oh, this staff member. I guess they're the ones that win the award, and that's a crazy thing. And
it could be pretty dangerous because I've seen some nut riding motherfuckers around this yard.
Yeah. No,
flowers in the box for them.
The thing is though, right, is what gets us is that, look, there's a lot of good dudes that work here. There's a lot of dudes that interact with us and they're cool. They're straight. They're just here. They're doing their job. They don't they're not assholes about the things that they do. They're doing their job. They come, they hit the pad, they do what they do, but there's not I just don't feel negative energy coming from them. I don't feel like that anger, and they actually make this place a safer place for us to do our time and go to school. They make sure that we got the things that we need, the things that we got coming and stuff like that. And
you tell they're not looking at us as anything less than human.
Yeah, they're actually just, and some of these dudes have been here a long time. They've been in the system for a while, and they just did their thing, man. And you could
adapted when they put the R behind it.
Yep, and I would love to write something for them. I would love to do it this way. I want you.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
What did they do that stood out to you? And and I would love to say, hey, this person is a role model. This person hasn't done anything extra for me This person has been straight across the board. This person has been professional, and this person has been a role model. This person has made me want to be a better person, working and taking care of my family just like them. That's it. I see a person, they're like, well, if you don't know anything about their personal life, how do you know how are they a role model? Well, I see a man that comes here every single day and comes to work. I see a person that works double. I can tell when they work extra hours before the holidays. You get a lot of these guys before December, like around November, and they start working a lot of hours. They'll work graveyard shifts, and they're making that money. Well, why? Common sense tells you the holidays are coming up. Maybe they want to put some money in their pocket, for their kids, for grandkids, nieces, nephews. You never know. But the fact of the matter is you see the responsibility in these people. These people do not miss. When there's like a Super Bowl on or there's this and that, these people are here working, and we know who they are. We see them all the time. These guys are dedicated, man. And you could tell they do it right. So I would love to write all that stuff on something and submit it on a person's behalf. The problem with that is I feel that might get them ostracized by their own people. That's the double-edged sword right there, where I feel like, man, like this dude should be recognized for his service, just like anywhere else. I'm a citizen in my environment. I'm a resident here in my environment, and I'm recognizing somebody who goes above and beyond as an individual, and I feel like, and I have the means to acknowledge that officially, but I'm afraid that person will get ostracized by his peers, by other people that might not be as comfortable with the change yet, and they might give him a hard time. They might just clown him a little bit, like, they might call him Officer of the Month, or they might do this and that, and it's kind of like, damn. And then you think if you don't do it, they're gonna look at it as like, oh well, it doesn't work. They don't want the change, and that's the messed up part. The inmates don't want the change. We'll go back to being the inmates, not the residents or incarcerated people. That we're still us versus them, and that's not the case. So it's kind of like, do we utilize the system and risk? Because we could turn this good. If he gets ribbed a little bit, or he gets clowned a little bit for getting this commendation, and he might turn bitter. Like, all these fools freaking put this in. They did it on purpose. They did it just to fuck with me, and blah 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 blah. And these are people that are just trying to keep their head down, do their job, and go about their business. So if you single them out and you give them this recognition, what is that going to do? Is it going to, in turn, make the environment different? Is it going to cause further divide? Are people going to abuse this to put it out there for officers that don't have that coming, just so they could get clowned? So it's something that I feel like we should be more involved with the process.
I think those boxes are just another piece of the puzzle moving forward to the California model.
Oh yeah, it has to be. It has to be.
No, 100% it is. And
yeah.
The reality of it is, one day it's going to be utilized effectively. It's going to serve its purpose, because it's going to give them incentives the same way we have incentives now. Laudatory chronos. The staff write us laudatory chronos when they see the change, they see the good we're doing, they recognize it. A lot of these staff that knew me when I was a troublemaker, they can attest to my change, because they're like, man, I know this dude. Some of these staff I've known over 15 years, and they can see what it is. Some of the ones right here in this yard.
Yeah.
And so, that thing right there, it's incentive for them to come here and interact with us on a humane level. There's always that line, because they are staff and we are residents. You have to keep a certain level of professionalism, just like you would in any work environment.
Of course.
You're not going to be joshing around with your supervisor at work, or things like that. So, but a lot of these staff are able to interact with us. They know how to interact with us. It's not just pure sternness, head down, getting by. Like they know how to engage. They ensure that we're being released for our day when we're supposed to. We're going to yard when we're supposed to. A lot of them, they recognize the tournaments that we're involved in, and they keep up on the latest and greatest, and that's a good feeling, because it takes away a little bit of the hostility that usually synergizes around prison. That us versus them. If they're sitting at the podium and they're mad dogging, you ask them a simple question, hey, can I get a raise, or hey, can I this? And it's like, nah, not right now. I'm busy. But you see them literally sitting there staring at the monitor.
I used to hate that shit. Fuck, my God, that shit would drive me bonkers when they would do that.
Right. And so with these boxes that are being put there, I think eventually it'll be seen as the norm, and definitely it could be used to incentivize the staff that are coming in, because they are training them just for this new California model where it's like, hey, these people are human. One day, there's a very good chance that we could even be the neighbors. We're gonna be the people that are gonna be out there living next to these guys, and they understand that. So why ostracize us any more than society, than we've already ostracized ourselves by forfeiting our rights to society, And so I think those things are going to be a good thing in the long run. I think it's just like with any change that's taking place in CDTR, it's going to come with this bumps, But I think eventually it can be used as a good thing, and it'll also, because sometimes it's hard to get these staff to even write us chronos, because those chronos hold a lot of weight when you go to board.
They don't want to. That's the crazy part. A lot of them don't want to.
Yeah, because it's job security.
It's like pulling teeth
job security.
to get a chrono.
Yeah, and it's understandable. It's understandable. They're thinking job preservation.
That's why I don't ask for those chronos. I don't ever ask for them. Like, I would love for them to just come up and be like, look, man, I recognize that you're doing this and doing that, and I would like to write you a chrono acknowledging that. And that would be good, man. That would always be good to hear. The fact of the matter is, I don't ask because I'm uncomfortable asking for something like if I deserve it. That's always been a thing for me. People always ask you, well, do you think you deserve to go home? Do you think you just, and those are always questions we get in here. And the fact of the matter is, I don't, in that regard, with my behavior in the past, I don't feel like I deserve a damn thing. But I do feel like I'm suitable. I do feel like I'm no longer a threat to safety and security of the institution or society. I have made the changes necessary, and I'm farther along than most people out there in society. I have a better grasp of my anger, and I understand what my character defects are, what my triggers are. I have relapse prevention plans. So I have all these things in place to successfully integrate myself into society, and I have job skills. I'm educated. I'm in college. I'm working on multiple degrees right now. I'm in line to go to San Diego State University, the in-person classes they do here. So yeah, I'm very far along. So when they ask, well, if you deserve to go home, well, no, absolutely. I deserve to be freaking in one of them 19 or 1890s. Remember them little jail blocks they put you in, where your head and your hands just stick out of it? First, deserving, you have to be chained to a wall.
Yeah. With a striped jumpsuit on and a ball and chain.
Yeah, big old ball and chain. Yep.
You should be walking the plank right about now.
I should have been walking the plank. I deserve to get thrown into the ocean. But yeah, it's a little bit different. Hey, James, what you got going on, man?
Man,
a lot of
so
stuff going on in the background right there.
yeah, it's the everybody just came back to the room, so they turned on the air conditioner because it was a little bit hot over here. It's a little bit humid, so they turned it on. Hey, you know what? I got a question from both Fishlayer and Iceman right here, and let me see. Let me read off first. Fishlayer's first, and he writes. Let me see. He writes. Fishlayer writes. Who are Jesse's and David's football teams? And then Fishlayer. Iceman writes. Let me see right here. What did
Iceman knows. We've had this talk before. I told
Iceman wrote
how great the Rams are.
Iceman wrote San Fran 49ers, and then tell him Chargers
I know
rule.
his team. Yeah, I figured he was a Chargers fan, and you know what? Look, I'm not gonna give the boy a hard time. Like, I actually, rooted for the Niners because of our boy Iceman. Like, I know that was his team, and I actually felt that loss, man, when they lost that Super Bowl. I was rooting for that kid, Brock Purdy, and I felt it, But no, I am a Rams fan. And unfortunately for my boys right there that are Niners fans, Jesse's a Raiders fan, and the Chargers, Rams are going to go all the way this year. We got it. We got this Super Bowl on lock. You guys might as well. This is
so you guys know David is no longer using drugs. So
hey, you guys, honestly, and look, the Niners, this is a rebuilding season for you guys.
Yeah.
the Chargers. You know, hey, Justin Herbert. That kid. You know, that kid has a lot of potential. You know, but I don't know. Is he your guy? Is he your guy?
Hey,
You know
I
how I
found
became a Rams fan, Jess?
I
Go ahead.
found I found Eliasman's question right here. He writes, "Do the homies have preseason Super Bowl picks? AFC, NFC."
No, no.
Preseason what?
Super Bowl pick.
It's the
Yeah.
Rams. The Rams are going all the way. They got it.
See, this is the thing. I'm a Raiders fan, right? And being a Raiders fan, I had to pick up a backup team just to go for during the season. That's
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
watching my own team was nothing but a disappointment. And so I actually jumped on the bandwagon of the Steelers, right? I don't remember.
Wow, how did that happen?
I don't remember exactly how. I think I was just, for some reason, Roethlisberger and his weird ass was
I thought you were going to go 80 for Brady.
yeah, no. And so I was bad.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
For quite some time, and I used to be a fanatic. You know, I used to watch a lot of the college. I used to watch college and the pro just so I could stay up on who's going to be coming up in the draft. You know, because I used to gamble a lot. But over the last 2 years, I've only been peppering games. Go ahead.
We're going to get cut.
I'm going to call you back.
Hey, we'll give you a call back right now, James.
All right, cool, perfect. Thank you. All right, so if you guys are wondering what's happening over here, my daughter's coming up and she's messing with my mute button and putting her hand, and she's doing all kinds of little cute stuff over here with me. So I'm trying to try to keep her off off the camera as much as possible, just because I want to go ahead and protect her privacy. And I'm not sure if any of you ever seen any of the video visits or whatever. So that that's something that I try my best to do. And there we go. They're calling back. I'm gonna go ahead and plug it back in, and here we go.
Esta es
call
Global
recording
Telling.
ended.
Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
This
un
call is now being
individuo
recorded.
encarcelado de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for the... Gracias por utilizar Global Telling.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Jesse's mic sounds a little bit off. It doesn't sound like his sound's coming through. It's coming in. It might be coming in through your mic.
Hold on. Can you hear me good?
Yeah, I could hear you good. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay, that's me. That's
Okay.
me on my mic.
He's back in business.
Okay.
What about mine?
Yeah, but they're both sounds A1 quality right there.
That's cool.
Chibi check, microphone check 1.
Hey,
Chibi
so
check, microphone
yeah,
check.
so I wanted to tell you about my how I became a Rams fan. Oh, Jesse was talking about his Steelers thing. He had like a little Steelers fetish.
Yeah, I was just talking about how, for a few years I had the bandwagon with the Steelers just so that I had somebody to root for to potentially win a game throughout the season. And it was I wasn't going to do what everybody else was doing. I had to step outside the box a little bit. I wasn't going to go with the Cowboys or go with Frisco or one of the.
If I see one Cowboy star in this cell, Jess, I'm asking Felipe if he needs a Sally.
Yeah, no, for sure.
One Cowboy star.
Yeah.
Even if you're holding it for somebody.
Yeah, if I even see something that resembles a star, you know what I mean? So if I see you drawing a bubble W, and it looks the top of a star, you're out of here.
Hey, I like Dak Prescott, but if you have a picture of Dak Prescott, it has to be out of uniform.
Oh, okay.
Like at a charity event or something.
Okay,
like a Make-A-Wish game or something.
Well, shit, I think their backup quarterback, low key. I think he might end up beating Dak out of his job, low key, because I think when they put him in, he was doing all right, and but Dak being the lead, they weren't gonna let old boy outshine him, so of course they pulled him. But
Who they put in Trey Lance?
Yep.
He's with Dallas now?
Yep.
I thought I heard that earlier.
Yep, and that's their backup. And so if anything happens, I know a lot of Cowboys fans are kind of hoping that Dax goes down and Lance can come in and do his little thing.
I think Frisco dodged one getting rid of him.
Yeah.
Because compared to Brock Purdy, whenever they put Trey Lance in, something happened with them, and he wasn't really doing much.
Yeah.
So I think they dodged the bullet. Alex, man, you guys got lucky.
Yeah, sometimes you just don't got the work dynamic with your people, so you got to go. You've seen quarterbacks and other players go to another team and get their shine on. You know,
See, right when Alex had he had everything figured out. Like he was like, you know what, we dodged one with Trey Lansco and getting traded and Brock Purdy, but unfortunately you guys are still in the NFC West with the glorious Rams.
Oh, shots fired, Iceman! Shots fired. It's funny that you say that because just last night I was talking with Bruce Willis about the fantasy football page.
Yeah.
Just like thinking about it, I was like, because it's been about 2 years since I really went hard on football because of going to school and everything. Like I just don't have time to dedicate the whole weekend to watching football, And
Yeah.
so, but talking about thinking like, damn, we've been watching these fools out here doing their fantasy leagues and doing their picks and everything, and I'm hearing people at work the same thing, and I was sitting there thinking like, man, it would be kind of cool just for the sake of something, but I just don't have the time to sit back and follow my guys to actually get into a league or to follow the games enough to actually stay up on what's necessary. But having that element, that gambling element definitely makes the games a lot more interesting.
Yeah, when I was younger, we had, I grew up in the LA area when I was younger, so we had Raiders and Rams when I was a kid. They were always there. We we had the Angels, Dodgers, and kind of the Clippers. the Clippers were there, but
Be careful, I think that's Bruce Willis's team.
yeah. Hey, my bad, Bruce Willis, but the Clippers had a rough.
I'm sorry to hear about that, bro.
Yeah, they had a rough beginning, man. My heart goes out to you.
No,
So
I'm just kidding. I don't know if it is.
nah, but yeah. So that's why most people that are from that area or group in that area, we all have a soft spot for the Raiders. That's just what it is. I had the Bo Jackson pictures up, and I had everything,
the Howie Long.
Yep. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Even back further, the Lala Zato and the John Matusek.
Yep. And so I have a picture of me and my little brother that I have when we were kids, and he's got a Rams hat on, Los Angeles Rams. So I have a lot of my brother and actually my brother and one of my boys out there, Randy. He's a diehard Chargers fan. So there's always been a backdrop of the Chargers, right there, where we live before we came to prison in Coachella Valley. San Diego's right there's a lot of Chargers fans out there. But I didn't really get into football.
Hey, button it up, Flipper.
I didn't really get into football after the Rams and.
Hey, I have to interrupt on that one.
Thank you.
Hey, Bruce Willis wrote, "Don't disrespect LA with the Clippers."
All right.
I was just checking.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows?
Yeah, that was Jesse's.
Yeah.
I want no part of that. You may have heard me, and I may be recorded, but
yeah. Put that on Jesse.
Yeah, put that on Jesse, please.
I know he did feel bad when we lost Kobe, so maybe I may have missed.
Me too.
Yeah, but it's funny that Dave said.
Hey, I got Flipper yelling in the vent saying, "Did you tell James that I sent mine?" James Flipper said.
We just don't know if we should be talking to you because you're a protected population.
Hey, the viewer said I can't talk to you no more.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
I can't. We get canceled.
We're afraid.
Yeah, I'm afraid right now.
We don't want to be a part of the cancel culture.
Hey, he's up there running his mouth. Come on, viewers, just let me. Just put this one aside right now. Do not get me flagged. Just let me run through all the expletives that I have.
It's funny that Dave was mentioning about all these California backdrop teams, and I will say that anytime it was a California team against somebody else, I'm always going to go for the Cali team.
Yeah,
when it was Frisco in there, I'm going to go for Frisco when it's Chargers because it's just the reality. You got to rep the home state before anything else.
Absolutely.
But I picked Pittsburgh. Just because of I like the players that they had at the time, you know what I mean? It's Schuster and Watt and all that. They had a cool little squad, and the colors yellow and black was cool, So it just felt like it was far enough away, and it wouldn't feel like I was bandwagoning on a Cali team,
Yeah. I think so. What I did is I started watching I started rooting for certain players throughout the years when we didn't have.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Well, you almost got the Chargers.
I did. Well, the thing is, I told my wife, I was like, look, I'm going to get back into football, but the first team that comes into LA, I'm going to just, I'm going to hang my hat with, so it was the Chargers. It looked like it was going to be the Chargers, but they had an issue or something with the stadium they were going to build or something at that time. And so, but I did say, hey, first team that comes back, I'm going to jump on with them, and it turned out to be the Rams. So I said, all right, that's what it is. Now we went to the Super Bowl that year.
Okay.
At SoFi. It was a good year to be a bandwagon Rams fan.
Yep.
So now I'm all in.
Yeah, now I'm all in.
I'm all in. I got my stomach painted with a little ram's horn.
You guys were all dressed up with nowhere to go.
Yep. We got this beautiful stadium, SoFi Stadium. We got all the movie stars there. And,
I do believe the Rams fans is for sure Bruce Willis's team, though.
hey, I knew there was something special about that guy.
I knew he was special.
I knew he was special, and not like the kind of special, like Jesse is or Felipe.
Not Spectrum special, but special.
Yeah, he's a special man right there, that Bruce Willis.
Yep.
So
I knew you lambs were gonna stick together.
Yep. But that's how it happened right there. So anyway, football season, we all beefing.
Yep.
But I'm glad. Hey, my boy Fischler, he got himself a cool little team.
Oh, he's a Chargers fan, huh?
Yeah, they're doing cool though. They got a lot of potential, man. That's just what it is. And they are an LA team. They are in SoFi with the Rams. So when I do see them, I do cheer for them. I do. I root for them. I watched the Eagles for a little while.
Did you?
Yeah, I was an Eagles fan when Donovan McNabb and Michael Vick were playing for them. I thought it was cool. I watched Brady for a little while.
Hey, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't really have a lot to do with the topic, but I remember one time when I was in the county jail. They used to have the comics from the newspaper. Remember the Press Enterprise?
I remember.
And I remember one time, I forget. I don't even remember which comic it was. I ended up cutting it out though. But it had all the cartoon dogs in the jury box.
Yeah.
Droopy and Scooby and Snoopy and just all the dogs in the jury box, and then it had Michael Vick sitting right there on the witness stand.
Hey, that's kind of when I fell out of. That's when Michael Vick fell out of my favor. And the thing is, I don't know what he was into, but I'm not all about them fighting dogs.
That's when he was with the Falcons.
Yeah, he got busted for that, and I was like, look, he's a person, that's cool, but that's kind of like, man, that's kind of way out right there, Like,
yeah.
I like dogs. I'm an animal lover. Hey, the worst thing happened today. At a family visit, James, with the lizard, man. It was sad.
What was it that happened with the
James,
lizard? Yeah, no, I'm here. It's because I got you on mute because how I got the air conditioner, full blast over here. I'm pretty sure it's coming over to your side, so I have it on mute. Hey, Fishlayer just put a comment out here for you. He writes, it needs to be the Chargers, bro. When you start working with me, our shirts are Charger logos.
Oh, hey, best belief. Hey, I'll tattoo a Charger site on me. Working for you. I am a company man.
Don't exactly. I wrote these damn gangs all over my body, and they didn't do shit for me. You give me a job like.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
I'm going to work every day with pom-poms and a Charger hat on. Call me a Charger cheerleader.
Hey, I'm ready to get a Marlin tattooed on me in your honor. Don't worry about that, man. Don't worry at all, I can maintain appearances. Company man, I'll be right there, season passes and everything.
Yeah, he's going to be a closet Rams fan.
Yeah, definitely a closet Rams fan.
Yeah, he doesn't want to get exiled at the job site for coming in with a Rams hat on.
Yeah, for sure. I'll get the bumper sticker, the Chargers thing, and everything.
Yeah.
Bolts. Get the bolts. Get the bolts. Yep. So now, so we're at the family visit, right? My son's there. This visit when he's there. I spend a lot of time with him. So we go outside, and there's lizards, These lizards are cool. These lizards are, a lot of people have them here in prison. Remember Blue Pearl with the lizard, on him. So I wanted to, or Joe Pearl with the lizard on him, I think, yeah. So anyway, they're all over the family visit outside. They're crawling up the wall. So I catch one. I show my son how to catch one, and we're letting them go. We have no reason to keep the lizard, but it's kind of like fun just to show them, hey, this is how you catch the lizard. And they're going behind some little drain. There's like a little drain right there, and so it's like a runoff, for the water. So there's a lizard in there, and I tell my son, I'm like, hey, use the cardboard so we can get the lizard to come out from behind the drain. And that's how we caught the first one. It came out when we put the cardboard in there. And, I grabbed it, I showed it to him, I put it on his shirt, and then we just put it back in the ground, and it took off, And it was kind of like just catch and release kind of thing, but safely, we weren't trying to hurt him. And we caught that one for about a total of 4 minutes and to let it go, So he goes again, and he puts the cardboard behind the drain again, and to get a lizard out, and there's one in there, and he like puts some pressure on it, and then he's like, hey, is the lizard out? And I'm like right there biting my hand, right, because this lizard is like in half, dude. Like this lizard is super dead, right? And the cardboard got it pretty good, man. I felt so bad, James. I was like, oh man, we're not catching lizards no more, you know.
So what are you saying? He chopped the lizard in half?
That's what I'm saying.
Wow.
With the cardboard, yeah. And it was like the most horrible thing that I saw.
That was the somber look when you came back.
I did. I still think about that lizard, you know. And like we weren't trying to like harm it. We were just trying to like, you know, like guide it out. And I guess it just set up shop right there, you know. It wasn't trying to come out. Hey, he's right. And I'm like, oh my God, it was sad, James. It was one of the saddest things, man.
That's a sad day in lizard heaven.
Well, lizards are like. he's just James is on mute, just laughing hysterically, right? James, this thing was like half its body was gone, and it was over the cardboard, you know, like. And he's like, did we get it? And I'm like,
yeah, you got it all right.
We got it, son. We got it, you know. And then he looked, and he got all sad, and we're just all sad, you know. And yeah, it was. We're not doing that again. Poor thing, you know. And those lizards are cute, man. They run around. Like, one of the baddest things I ever saw was a lizard on somebody's shirt, and it was running around eating flies that landed on him. As soon as a fly landed on him, the little lizard would dart across his shoulders and eat the fly.
What the hell?
Yeah, you didn't see that on the yard? That shit was bad. Yeah, it was here.
Oh, yeah, I missed it. Bird got a badass lizard right now.
Yeah.
Bird has a big, it's one like I've never seen right here in this prison. They had him in Ironwood, but it's a big-ass lizard, way bigger than all the other ones that they...
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
It must have migrated or caught a bus down this way.
Yeah, it was a sad time, man. I swear I can't stop thinking about that lizard. I love animals, man. And it was just one of those things where it's like, damn, you know.
What are you going to do? You going to put a cross on a wreath out there in front of the family visit next time?
I'm going to probably think about it. Yeah, I will. I'll go out there and always think about, like, that was the scene, you know, the crime, you know.
Yeah, you're going to put some yellow tape up out there?
No, crime scene tape, a little miniature tape.
A little beef and a cross like somebody got hit by a car.
Hey, you got another call, James? Got another call on you?
Yeah, well, we'll do this one coming up will be the last one. We're gonna run downstairs after this and go to the lobby area and hang out for a bit.
Okay. All right, I'll give you a call back.
All right, for sure.
Right, I forgot.
All right. So if you're new here, you're just tuning in. We're taking live phone calls from Centinela State Prison. The yard. We're on the line with Jesse and David. They should be calling us back in the next moment or two, and they'll go ahead and continue. And let me see if we got any other comments on here. I just got the little smiling face from SoCal or Fish Layer SoCal right here on the YouTube side, and I see a Liceman over here on the TikTok side. All right. Anyhow, so I'm gonna be having some video visits from. Let me see, where do we get some? We got some video visits from with Silas. Oh man, hold up.
This call is now being recorded.
Global Telling, usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado de la prisión estatal de Centinela, Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5.
5.
Gracias por utilizar Global Telling.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
James.
Yeah.
I totally forgot. I totally forgot that you were in New York. Right now, when you were talking about they came in and turned on the air conditioning, I pictured everybody sitting in your office in the little room where you do the streaming at with the phones and everything in the back. I totally forgot you were in New York.
Yeah, we're in New York.
Hey, I jumped on the video call so I can do a visit with James, and he's like, you see the New York skyline? Look, when I got on, Jesse got to see like all the cool stuff. You probably took him up on the freaking what do you call it? The Statue of Liberty, Liberty Island, and all the big old buildings. And then so when I go and I call, I'm all excited, and James is walking through a parking lot, right? And I'm like, hey, James, man, that's a great looking parking lot right there. I see like shuttle buses in the background. I'm like, hey, man, New York has some cool shuttle buses. oh, look at all the cool people, you know, like freaking, they're just a bunch of like bored people waiting to board a bus. And then he's like, all right, we're going to take you on the turnpike. And I'm like, oh, hell yeah. Finally, I get to see some quality New York freaking views. And I'm like, what's a turnpike? He's like, it's a freeway. Like, wait, what the hell? Hey, so I'm like, he gets into this big old thing about this turnpike, right? Like, he's on the New Jersey turnpike, right? And I don't see nothing right there. Like, honestly, I see, like, there's a wall, you know, and then he, like, goes across. There's someone in his car that's asleep right there. And his wife started asking me some amazing questions, which was great, you know, because I was just like, dude, I need to see something. He showed me like the New York skyline for about all but 5 seconds. He's like, look, here's the skyline. Oh, you missed it.
He's like, hey, here's the New York trash can.
I'm like,
it's New York trash can.
Can I see it again, James? Oh, okay, all right, it's gone. We gotta go. Let's get on the turnpike. You ever been on the turnpike, Dave?
Hey, that's why I sent you that video. I sent you that video about driving around in New York.
You sent me a badass video, dude. Like the most edited. It looked like it was the beginning of a movie. You know, like this summer, James travels the world. You know, it's got these little features on it. Coming this summer. And James in a CDCR jacket, you know, and the freaking wind blowing his brooch up in the air, you know. It was
like a Sundance film.
Yeah, that's what it was, you know. James finds himself in Nueva York, you know. Yeah, no, it was so thanks, James. Thanks for the trip, man.
Oh man, you got it. Hey Jesse, you got to see the Quince. He got to see like about 10 quinceañeras taking pictures. We saw the 9/11 memorial across from the Hudson.
Dave was photobombing.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
James walked me through a parking lot, right? And I didn't even see any like significant cars. There was like a minivan, a couple Kias. You know, like I'm like, show me the cars. Is there any cool New York cars? You know, it's nothing. It's a standard parking lot.
Yeah, it's an Asian dude on a bike with with a little pull cart.
Yeah, I would have loved to see that. Not even.
He's like a bunch of tricycles, bunch of
bunch
of mopeds.
Everybody. The only difference between the parking lots here and the freeway here is all the minorities that show in the background were Cubans and Puerto Ricans. Yeah. That was it. Over here we got a gang of, you know, Mexicans and stuff like that you see, you know. But over there I just saw like, all right, everybody kind of looks like us, but just like Boricua.
Hey David.
You know, it's the same.
Hey, right now that you mentioned that, man, hey man, now I feel gacho. Man, Sally's got to see the Statue of Liberty. Jesse got to see. He got to see the quinceañeras. Tito got to see the subway system and the Big Apple, Times Square. Gary got to see Times Square, and you got to see a parking lot.
I got a parking lot, and I got a turnpike, but like the whole time that I was on the turnpike, you had like the camera pointing at the ground. Like I saw the back seat of. I saw the dashboard.
You saw the food that he was eating.
Yeah,
he was eating the burger in the car, and you could see the bag.
and you walk, and whoever was in the seat next to you just looked miserable. Like, this dude's recording again.
Saw the little one playing with Legos.
Yeah, get the camera. Yeah, that was the cutest part of the whole visit, man. At least, or you know, the whole video call. You know, his daughter was up there, and you know, she's really cute, man. You're really blessed, James.
Well, at least they. Well, you know, Dave got to see what's it called? Dave got to see El Salvador, the jungle, some of the jungle.
Yeah, but he wouldn't go in it.
Oh, okay. Well,
like this guy, he won't. Like, I don't think it's a lot to ask. All James had to do was walk about 30 feet into the jungle
and get chewed up by a jaguar.
I don't think that would have happened. He was more worried about getting abducted by like freaking jungle people or something. I don't know.
The Contras.
Yeah, rebels. That's what
the Contras.
Yeah, that's what I said. He's like the Contras. You know, I'm like, wait, that's where they're at, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. They'd have had his ass out there cutting down coca plants.
You don't think about that though. You don't think about that when I seen that jungle. I don't think of that as a jungle. I think of it as like a hillside with trees. But that is a real jungle.
Straight out the jungle.
Yeah, that's a real jungle. James had me next to a real jungle, and he would not even go near it.
Well, I wouldn't have went in there either.
I think I heard my
There's
mom
nothing
calling me.
There's nothing going. There's nothing going on 30 feet into the jungle.
You'd be surprised. That's where all the kidnappings happen.
That's where probably like the people that are, what do you say now, unhoused? They probably live around that area, you know, around that little section. But
Hey,
then you go like deeper.
Hey, I seen that
Yeah.
show Locked Up Abroad. You know, when they find your passport that you're American, hey, they're gonna be asking for big money. The only problem is I got no big money, you know, coming my way. So I might be coming back with you know with less fingers or maybe brochureless.
Hey, I thought. Hey, honestly though, I did worry about you when you go out to these countries and you walk around videotaping and stuff. I do honestly. I have genuine concern for you and for your safety, because those countries, especially that one, that is run by a dictatorship. That's
Yeah.
not a.
No.
You know, they will lock you up and they will throw away the key.
There
They
is no
will,
due process there.
yeah, they will put you away until they figure it out. What you're doing, and that's a scary thing.
Especially if they think you bringing any of that California juju with you. They know that's what.
Yeah.
They know that that's where all that, you know, that MS and that 18 stuff comes from. So they're like, if they even think or suspect that you got some ties to some California shenanigans, you're gonna find yourself out in the middle of nowhere.
Hey, you know what?
Hey, so
And with
Yeah,
that,
go ahead.
that's one of the those are you know when I think about that, I'm glad that I never got tatted up when I was younger, because you know that'll definitely be a bad look. You know, nowadays, you know, going up there to a place like that, and all they gotta do is look at me, and that's it. You know, I can't explain these tattoos, or I might have a spider web or a smile not cry later, and out there, you know, all that stuff is gang affiliated, teardrops and all of that.
Right.
yeah.
Yep.
Well, I'm more worried about your lower back tattoo.
That tramp stamp you got on your back.
Yeah, the Cancun 2016 tattoo you got. Your lower back.
Yeah, that. Yeah, that hashtag collect call me.
Yeah, he has a small wine glass tattooed on his left bicep. I don't know what that signifies in the gang world.
Yeah. You got the heart with the mark.
The old the Colt tattoo on your left ankle. Yeah, I don't know what that, yeah, I don't know. If
How am I
those
gonna
count.
explain all of that?
Yeah, I think you're gonna be all right.
Yeah,
Yeah. How you gonna explain that to them?
yeah. You got, what do you call it? He's got the Prince symbol. You know, remember how he changed his name to a symbol? He's got that tattooed on his bicep.
You got it right on his wrist.
Look, I'm pretty your wrist. I'm pretty sure that Prince's name on your wrist is gonna get you out. If anything, you just show them that, they'd be like, "Oh, okay, yeah, this guy's definitely." It's like a passport.
Yeah, he's not with the savages.
He's not.
No. That's cool though. When you coming back, James?
We'll be back. We'll be back on Tuesday. So we got tomorrow. Tomorrow we're actually gonna be going to New Jersey. I mean, sorry. We're gonna be going to the shore, Jersey Shore, and we're gonna be going also to possibly Atlantic City. So hey, we might be doing.
Asked you to take me to the Jersey Shore.
We might be doing that situation. We might call you Dave the Situation.
That's what I was hoping to go by. I was telling him, Jess, I want to go by Dave the Situation.
Okay.
And go on the Jersey Shore.
We have a situation.
And I want to go pound for pound, blow by blow with Snooki.
Thank you.
I just want to go fisticuffs with Snooki.
Snooki ain't playing with you.
Yep. Give her a bottle of vodka and just freaking tell her to take flight.
Yep. That's cool though. That's cool. You're gonna get to go hit up Jersey Shore, maybe some Atlantic City.
Yeah. We were talking about that today. We were trying to figure out how far it was. So it's apparently Jersey Shore is about an hour and a half from where we're at. So we might take a stroll down there.
That's tight.
Hey, now
Yeah.
this is our last call. So I want to make sure that before this thing hangs up, that I give a shout out to my beautiful wife. I love you, and also to our boys Fish Layer and Eli Smith.
Yep.
We will give you a call soon, Fish Layer, and Bruce Willis.
Yep, definitely send a shout out to all the regular listeners, all those who support us. We appreciate.
Yep, we had some homegirls from
Jessica tonight.
No, we had some homegirls from San Jose. We had some around the way, huh?
Yeah.
Here and there. Yep.
Yep. Chicago. We got some Chicago.
Yeah, from Chi-Town.
Tell your friends about it, man. Bring in some more Chi-Town listeners. That's always welcome.
Yeah. We do try to come on here every weekend at 4 o'clock unless James has some, he's out of the, somewhere on the other side of the world or something. He has to work.
Yeah. Yeah. Does anyone know where James San Diego is?
Yeah. Yep.
Got the Where's Waldo? We're gonna have to put him in a striped shirt and a beanie so we can find James this week.
Hey, you know what? I could picture it now, the CDCR jacket with where's Waldo, a red and white stripe. That might be the next one right there. That's gonna be it.
Hey, that's gonna be pretty cool right there. To all the people that are disappointed because I didn't go off on Felipe today, I literally can't. We will get booted off this channel again. I like being on YouTube, but I also like being on TikTok also because it does bring viewers to the YouTube channel. I do love it. It has like a wider audience.
Hey, we got
cool. I don't like the censorship though.
We got like two more minutes. I think if you can bring him on at least for a minute, hey, they can't boot us, when we're about to cut it off already.
That's living dangerous right there, James. Dangerous.
Hey, Lopez.
Hey, he spent on the vet. Felipe.
Huh? What were you gonna say, James?
Yeah, I said life's a risk, carnal.
Hey, Felipe.
Flipper the dog.
Hey, how do they say it on Blood In, Blood Out? What do you say? Hey, yo.
Oh, yeah.
Hey. Oh, Cinderella.
Hey, yo, bite side.
Hey, he's over there talking with his mom. She's probably in the Yucatan still. hey, Philip, you on the phone? Hey, we couldn't get you off the vent the whole time. You're over here running your jibs.
And now that you hear us getting ready to call you, you're into the back of the cell and acting like you were on the phone. You ain't got nobody to talk to, fool.
Hey.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
I don't know how, but he does have people that love him.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, apparently, it sounds like he's on the phone with his mom.
He's on the phone.
He stood there at the vent, ear hustling the whole conversation.
He did. He's like,
oh, they're going to call me. I heard him fall off the seat because he was running away from the vent.
He did.
He's in the back of the cell like, I'm out.
Yeah, hey, he was like, hey, James, he was like, did you tell him I said mine? It's like, motherfucker, we're on a call here. We're talking. We got things going on. We got big stuff going on here. We'll get around to it. And then he called about 45 minutes later. Did you tell him? I just ignored him.
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
Hey, so, yeah, for all the listeners, we will be back. We will be back next week.
Yep, thank you once again, Fish and Iceman. Thank you, man, for looking out. And it's always a pleasure to have you guys on here. We miss you, Fish. We're going to have to give you a call, SoCal, as soon as we get a chance.
Yeah,
we know you're a busy man and stuff like that. Things are kind of busy right now, too, because we got the new semester going on, so we're busting up and down every day. But, yeah, always a pleasure to have you guys here listening. Iceman, always a pleasure to receive your words of wisdom. And with that said, we thank you guys for being here, supporting us, all the listeners, all the new listeners. Anybody wants to engage, John, if you listen to this, man, it was a crazy blast in the past to hear you on here, doggy. And, hope everything's going good for you, man.
Yep, say your thing, James.
Life's like a candle. Once you blow it out, it's lights out. And with that, we're out. Buenas noches. select the template before you put the
Yes,
picture.
that's what I was doing.
So like how long do you want it to be the template? Like how long, how many pictures do you want to put? Like 10, 20, 15? And how many minutes do you want it to be? 50 seconds, 30 seconds? So let me show you.
15 pictures?
So what I'll do is I'll select the duration, and then let's say you wanna do a minute, okay?
What are you doing?
Hit apply.
What are you doing?
So right here you could do 21 pictures on this one. It tells you here.
Oh, it tells me.
So if you click on it, if it doesn't tell you, you could click on it and you could kind of see how it is. So this one it's 1 minute long, and then you just hit use template, and then you let's say I'm just gonna do an example. So we want to use
Oh,
pictures.
gracias.
So
Gracias,
I
everyone. You do? Thank you, Mama.
And you could choose videos too. It's not only pictures that you can select.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, how do I do it? Okay, so let me do it again. This part.
So you want to close it down? Close it down all the way. So go to CapCut. Give me 1 minute, Mama. So you go to so then go to duration. Let's say you want to do 1 minute. You hit 1 minute. Hit apply, and then right here you could just select like whatever you want. So you could hit this one to get like some examples of this one. That's the one we just saw right now.
And then 80 pictures?
And it hits use template, and then you just select whatever you want. So what time we're gonna wake up in the morning?
At 8.
8.
Papa,
Sí, mom.
I can't play this game, Papa.
Ese peso que solo lo tienes que hacer en el iPad. Yeah.
They come up in the order that we select them?
Yeah. So that one you got.
Replacing with video? Is that a video then? The one I clicked?
No.
I clicked
I
this
think
one.
that's a picture. So these are all photos. So if you want to do videos, you can hit here, or you
I
can
know,
do all of them.
I just want photos, but when I click on this one, I'm trying to like, oh, there it is. I want to net me. I'm gonna scroll to get the because it goes in order, so the monument one's first.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you go put them in whatever order you want. You just gotta scroll down. You're welcome, Maila. Anything else I can do for you, Maila?
No, no, thank you.
Are you sure? Más ahí.
No, pero no tiene el show. Solito?
It was good. We got a few new followers.
How many?
A few. I'm not sure. I'll check right now. How was the place you guys went to eat?
It was good. Your food's right there. The chicken Europe.
I'll eat it
The
right
food
now.
was really good. The place was clean.
Yeah.
We got there on time because then it got super packed. I was gonna say, the all Dominican, el que me